Live! Hi! Huh. Why don't my messages appear in this chat? Well, anyway. Hi! Welcome to the stream. Oh, man. How have you been doing, strap streams? I've been doing okay-ish. I mean, it's been difficult sometimes, but nah. Streaming is to leave that type of shite behind. You're a ghost. Yeah, only the people who were here live were able to see when I died. I mean, it's not that part of the course for me. I mean, I can do this. I really am a ghost. Well, yes. So, by the way, were you a follower? I think so, because I do have polka dot emotes now, if you're interested in using those. Needed to laugh. Upset that my classes are now only online this semester. When it starts today, just got changed to... Oh, that sucks! Oh, I feel sorry for you. I hate Zoom classes too. I can only learn if IRL in the class. If I'm left to my own devices, I will do nothing. That's the thing. That's also a thing I need to just realize with content creation. I just need to force myself to do stuff because my default is just doing nothing. It's glorified YouTube videos now. Ugh. Same. Also, it's my excuse to be able to leave the house. I mean, then you just got to find other reasons to leave the house. You know. It doesn't always have to be just school. Recently, I found out a hobby that I have to go to like a legit different location for. I can see different people. I'm learning something new. And I'm having fun. That's why my week was okay-ish instead of bad. I still had the hobby to keep me busy. Okay, I believe we shall begin with the game proper today. We are gonna finish the flashback case and start with the final case. Let's see. There is a woman in this case that gets on my nerves. I hope she is arrested. This game is so much fun. I agree. I mean, just the updated graphics do a lot. I mean, I saw the older graphics, just the pixels, and it's like, oh god. Also, how are you liking baby Francisca? She is adorable and short. She's short. Okay, anyway. September 10th, 5:45 p.m. District Court, defend the lobby number 1. What is this incredibly overpowering sweet scent? It smells like flowers. Okay. Uncle Bat, is this it? Isn't that Detective Bat and Kay over there? It looks like she managed to escape the bailiff. No, that's not quite it. Aw, too bad, but it's so pretty. I think you're still a bit too young to be wearing that. But since you found it, I guess I can let you keep it. Thanks! I'll treasure it always! You two seem to get along rather well. Detective Bat is good with kids. Oh, here. I've got something else for you. Tiny K, yes! A Swiss roll! He just bribed her! Yay! Thank you, Uncle Pat! Oh my gosh, she's a gremlin, look at her! Earlier, I ate one of these with Gummy! Gummy? Oh, you mean Gumshoe. Gummy! He was trying to be nice to me, because I was gonna get in trouble! Then he got in trouble because he liked to protect me! She didn't even unwrap it. She's eating it through the gremlin behavior. Grumpy! I know he didn't kill Daddy! Don't cry. Faraday would be sad if he saw you cry. I'm not crying! Okay. Oh, it's the mister from before, and the lady too. Don't you think it would be a good idea to go home for the time being? You're not involved in the investigation, so it's for the best if you do. Actually, I'm Uncle Bat's assistant. Good excuse. So I'm related to the investigation. All of them are so young. Yeah. Also, Edward has the ego the size of East Texas. Is that so, Detective Bad? Yeah, I guess. What? You were just scolding us like kids to not mess up the crime scene. And now you let this child run free? Why? People are free to investigate things outside of the actual crime scene. You also had a few things you wanted to look into. Got a problem with that? I don't have a problem with that, but I am curious as to what Miss Yu is looking into. Uncle Bad, I'm gonna go look somewhere else now, okay? Alright. I'm counting on you. Oh, that's right! Hey, mister! Hmm? Yes, what is it? I know Gummy really isn't a bad guy. I mean it. So, please, find the real bad guy, okay? I won't forgive whoever did this. But in the absence of the perfect piece of testimony and evidence, there is no one else who could be the real culprit other than Detective Gumshoe. Are you sure? She wandered off while I was pondering. Yeah, wow. People don't never do that. Okay, Detective Bad. Detective Bad, what exactly was Kay searching for? Nothing that concerns you, boy. Oh, and I suppose it has something to do with Kay. It does, because she's Faraday's daughter. Ah, right. It does give her some leeway, I think. You had things to look into. No, I didn't. No, not you. You, me. No, you're doing this on purpose. Yeah. Anyway, hurry up and get to the point. Wow, that really has no patience for jokes, huh, Strap? I don't have time to waste. Sounds like he'd rather be left alone. I have something I'd like to confirm with you once again. I don't have anything to say to you. There's so many who's on first you can do with this case. That's true. Be that as it may, we still have questions that we need answers to. Just look at the smirk on his face. Now then, first of all, what is the overpowering smell that is permeating this room? Upon entering this room, I thought I was going to suffocate. It's that ultrasonic perfume you wears. She spilled some of it. I was having a bad time of it myself. I didn't think twice and opened the window. But that smell's still here. Perfume, huh? So the sweet scent in the air is perfume. Well, it's giving off quite a stench. I bet it's some cheap no-name brand. She said it's a famous brand from overseas. Of course, the overseas perfumes always smell like shite. No, but perfume always smells worse if you just get like a smoke of it in your face. Like, with perfume, you have to be subtle. Just like a few spritz on the wrist, and then wrap them together, and then on the neck a few, and then do this. And that's all you have to do, really. If you like spray down your entire body, that is way too extreme. Now I'm imagining you just spraying yourself constantly with this perfume. Like it's hairspray. It's a knockoff. Yes, definitely a knockoff. No disrespect, but she forced one of those bottles on me. Oh. Why are you dressed like a mini Von Karma? It looks like you're doing a bad cosplay. But I'm dressed as a prosecutor, not a detective, so I can't be a bad cosplay. I can't arrest you, you know! But why would you arrest you? Oh my god! Here, little girl. You can have it. I was born for a much more expensive and refined perfume. However, seeing as how you just happen to have a spare, I suppose I'll take it. Miles Edgeworth, you will hold onto this bottle without fail. Ugh. Why can't she ever be honest about her once? Because she's Franziska Von Karma. Perfume given to Bad by you. Same perfume as the one spilled in lobby number 1. Angel. The letters are way too small. So now we have the perfume Miss Yu wears. Just fantastic. He copies Von Karma so much when he's this young, it hurts. It's true though. But I saw like them standing side by side on the prosecutor's bench, and even in this same pose, Edgeworth flicks the finger while Von Karma doesn't. He like scrunches up his what's the word? His sleeve. Probably because Edgeworth didn't have that much rage in him as Von Karma. Is that all you wanted to talk about? So, I'm going back to investigating. Actually, I still have a few other things I wish to inquire about. He's so annoyed with us. So you were in this room the entire recess? Like I said, I made a call to the precinct to get that big lockdown here. But other than that, I was waiting for the recess to end in here. At least your story is consistent. Earlier you stated that you were in this lobby with Miss Yu. Yeah, I ran into her in the hallway. She said she wanted to talk to me about something, so we came in here. Then, what you're saying is that until Detective Gumshoe's arrival, you and Miss Yu were in 2 different locations? Is Miss Yu the killer? Can I throw her in jail? Yes! Yes, I am. Interesting. Speaking of that lawyer, he seems to have a great dislike for you. Oof. Let's see, Miss Yu is the sister of the victim of the KG8 incident. And as I recall, Detective Bad was the lead detective on the case. I wonder if the reason for her disdain isn't simply because you failed to guard Cece, but because you were the lead detective on the case. You knew. I also know that today's trial involving the Kodopian Embassy staff member is being referred to as the second KG8 incident. Well then, Detective, I believe it's time you were honest with me and told me the truth behind your relationship with Miss Yu and Mr. Faraday. And the KG8 incident. Oh, you mean his injury? No. Von Karma had an injury in the shoulder. I was referring to like he does. Ugh, I can't do it with this tracking, but like this. But yeah, it's awkward when I do this. Ah! I can't do it. It's horrible. Technology still has to advance. Oh, the other scrunching he does. Yeah, that's what I was referring to. But yeah, he does have a sprite where he like clenches the place of the shoulder. That's true. If you already know that much, I guess it'd be alright to tell you. KG8 incident. Now then, I'd like to ask you a few questions about the KG8 incident. It's not exactly a happy story. Other than the people who were directly involved. You two will be the first to hear what I'm about to tell. He does too. One with the arm and one higher up. I forgot about that. Me too. No worries. Now listen. Oh my god, that was not a cigarette in his mouth. It was a lollipop. I respect this man more and more. The honest truth behind the KG8 incident. Faraday, you and I. As you already know, we 3 were involved with the KG8 incident. Faraday and I, we were originally on the trail of a smuggling ring. Brought to you by 4Kids. I mean, yeah, that's true. You mean the smuggling case involving one of the Amano Group's secretaries? That trial was just a front. A facade. Yeah, but the case became tainted. All because the witness who was going to testify about the Amano Group's ties to the smuggling ring, CCU, was killed. Then what became of the secretary who was arrested? His name was Colin Deveray. Yeah, that's the guy who was killed last case. To be honest, the guy didn't know a thing about the smuggling ring. But he confessed to knowing about it anyway. Deveray was probably being intimidated by the big boss man. Just another scapegoat. Ernest Amano. The boss man of the Amano Group. He can't seriously mean Mr. Ernest Amano. That can't be right. It's probably just Detective Bat's personal hypothesis. No, he is 100% correct. You're just biased because he funded your education. What is he trying to do? Suspecting Mr. Amano of being involved with smuggling? I suppose it would have been quite difficult to secure an acquittal after he confessed. But the man who killed CCU, Manny Cochin, was a completely different person. But since he's already been acquitted once of her murder... Mr. Faraday, how could you have let him go? If I remember correctly, I heard that Mr. Faraday had an important piece of evidence stolen from him. That wasn't Faraday's fault. Really? It was mine. I wasn't vigilant enough. Faraday, Cece. I was supposed to protect them both. Miss Yu did mention that as well, about how Detective Bat was supposed to guard her sister. But even I, who was supposed to protect them, I fell into their trap. What kind of a trap? The holes in his jacket are a testament to that trap. He was shot at? You mean you were fired upon? You were shot that many times in one gunfight? No. What? Only about half of these are from that case. The other I made myself to... Otherwise my jacket was ruined. If I made symmetrical holes myself, then... At least I could still use this jacket and look edgy while doing it. But the reason I continue to wear this jacket is to remind myself of the lessons I learned from the KG-8 incident. I see. I couldn't protect CCU, and the suspect was found not guilty. We had hit a brick wall, as far as the law was concerned. And that's when she came to the courtroom, the victim's sister. That's when I first met Callisto Yu. About when you first met Miss Yu, it was on the day the verdict of the KG-8 incident was handed down, was it not? Yes, Faraday and I. We apologized to her from the bottom of our hearts. It was all we could do, but just saying you're sorry won't bring my sister back, she said. And then she gave me a hard slap across the face. Oh my gosh. Well, she certainly had a lot of self-control to stop at just a slap. Yeah, Francisca would only stop after like 50 wood lashes. If it was me, not even 100 lashes would have been punishment enough. I stand corrected. It was 100 lashes. I suppose not. Yu said it herself. That she never wanted to see either of us ever again. But after that, you've seen her many times over, correct? Yeah, Faraday and I, even after the KG-8 incident had come to a close, we continued to hunt down this smuggling ring and get involved in a variety of cases. But it was no use. We cracked so many cases. But the result was always the same. We couldn't find the real mastermind behind the ring. Is the ring really that big? I mean, from the airline case, it crossed like international borders even. It was in pursuit of the ring that we met you once again. It was during another trial related to the smuggling ring. Faraday was prosecutor, and I, as the lead detective, took to the witness stand. She appeared out of the blue as a defense attorney. Ooh, her client was related to the smuggling ring. Oh, oops! Not again! This is my greatest flaw. Actually, your voice got so deep there for a sec. Oops! Her client was related to the smuggling ring, and she was defending them? Yeah. You was pursuing the ring as best she could as a lawyer. I think she defended well this time, for the same reason. Come to think of it, Miss Yu did say something to the same effect. I have my own agenda. I'm still on the hunt for leads regarding the KG8 incident, right? Alright? And for that, you have not a single qualm about defending a known killer. Don't put words in my mouth. I said no such thing. The only way I had to get close to Mr. Rell was to be his lawyer. I had no intention of covering for him. Ever. So don't you dare suggest I was going to. It doesn't matter what your reason is. Helping a criminal is just despicable. You're so naive, little girl. Yeah. I could have stolen this lollipop from you. That's how naive you are. It was in your mouth, Mr. Bad. How dare you insult the daughter of Yvonne Karma? Just like us, you felt that you had hit the limit of what the law could do. That's all. The law is merely a tool. There's no limit to it. Only the skill of the craftsman. You two are still too young. But one day, you'll know what I mean. Foreshadowing? But enough sidetracking. What matters is that we met you again, in pursuit of this smuggling ring. That's all. Is that really all? So what was your relation to Mr. Faraday? You even seem to know Kay fairly well. I met him when he was a rookie prosecutor. Known him ever since. And Kay, I've known her since the day she was born. Aww. Faraday and we cracked quite a few cases together. But you two seem to have made no progress at all in the Yatagarasu case. Wow, very hypocritical of you, Ashworth. You haven't made progress at all either. Did we touch a nerve? Probably. I only have one thing to say to you. No one knew more about the Yatagarasu than me and Faraday. That's why I was called upon to testify in today's trial. To prove that Rell was not the real Yatagarasu. Which I would have done if he hadn't turned around and accused Faraday. After the accusation, I was asked to testify, this time, to prove or disprove the accusation. But I guess I won't be doing that either. Then what will you be doing now? You're just standing there. I sense there's more to that statement than meets the eye. Perhaps a bit more digging into the Yatagarasu is what's necessary. You claim to know much about the Yatagarasu. Would you care to share what you know with me? What you two should be looking for right now is proof of murderous intent towards Faraday and Rell. I agree, which is exactly why I am asking you about the Yatagarasu. What? The KG8 incident and the second KG8 incident. Both of these cases are tied to the smuggling ring. And in both of these cases, the witness who was to testify about the ring was murdered. However, there is one point in which they differ. And that is the presence or absence of the great thief Yatagarasu. Huh, now that you mention that, Mr. L claimed to be the Yatagarasu. However, in the middle of the trial, he suddenly declared Mr. Faraday to be the real Yatagarasu. Then, during the recess, they were both killed. Don't you find that to be the least bit odd? Miles Edgeworth, stop beating around the bush and just spit it out already! The killer is hunting the Yatagarasu. I believe that there must be some reason that the two men suspected of being the Yatagarasu were both killed at the same time. A reason, huh? And so, in order to catch Mr. Faraday's and Mr. Rel's cold-blooded killer, I feel that I need to learn as much as I can about the Yatagarasu. If it will help you solve this case. Then I'll tell you. I'll tell you the reason why we never caught the Yatagarasu. What was that sudden outburst for? You almost made me whip you by accident. And then he whips Edgeworth. It still accidentally whipped me anyway. There are three main reasons why the Yatagarasu will always be one step ahead. First, the Yatagarasu always knows the exact location of the target object. Second, the Yatagarasu always knows exactly how to disarm the security system. Third, the Yatagarasu doesn't leave a single shred of evidence behind. Ever. I see. So those are the Yatagarasu's special traits. Sounds like an incredibly elusive thief. The Yatagarasu has never been caught on tape, never tries to draw anyone's attention, and would never do something as lowbrow as commit murder. That's how I knew that Rel wasn't the real Yatagarasu right away. Yeah, I mean, he was caught on security tape. That's an immediate, like, just dismissal of his statement. But he can't use that sort of logic on its own to prove that he wasn't. Listen, little girl. I'm not done talking yet. Urgh. What's different about this time was that evidence related to the smuggling ring was sent to the police. And the sender was none other than the one who infiltrated the Kodopian embassy. The Yatagarasu. Ooh, the Yatagarasu sent the evidence. Until now, the Yatagarasu would always publicize any corrupt dealings through the mass media. But not this time. The evidence this time was something only Faraday and I and a select few others knew about. In that case, how can you be so sure that it was the Yatagarasu who sent it? Oh, hi Ikachu, welcome to the stream. That's easy. A special card that only the Yatagarasu uses was attached. That's how I can be so sure. And just what sort of card is it? Here, take a look at this article. Bat, will you stop talking, please? My throat can't handle it anymore. Jesus! Whenever the Yatagarasu wants to publicize something, a white card is sent along with the stolen information. But when we questioned Rel about what was sent along with the white card, Rel had no idea what it was. Ah, so that's how Detective Bat knew that Mr. Rel was a phony. Thank you very much. I have a much better understanding of the Yatagarasu now. Thank you very much. Okay. We can move on from this conversation. Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth. Yes? His Honor would like to transfer the evidence from today's trial over to you. Finally! So if you could please head over to the courtroom, it'd be much appreciated, sir. Understood. I'll be there shortly. Detective Bat, what does the law mean to you? Good question. Finding the answer to that question is the only reason I'm still alive. Huh. I became a prosecutor to find the answer to that question myself. and to play a part in ensuring that all criminals everywhere are found guilty. Look at the judge! He has actual legs! I guess. Oh, it's you, Mr. Edgeworth. It appears that his honor is still a bit dispirited. For the first time today, I experienced what it's like to stand at the witness stand. I now have a greater appreciation for just how hard it is to give testimony. Well, there's no reason for you to be all depressed about it, Your Honor. As a judge, no one expects you to think about anything other than the verdict. Francisca, there's no need to further depress His Honor. But I'm not trying to, Miles. Your Honor. Your Honor, I've come to collect the evidence that was to be transferred to me. Your Honor, the evidence... Don't you see that he's depressed, Miles? Your Honor! Oh! You! Yes! Can I help you? I'd like to collect the evidence now, sir. Your Honor, do you think you can stay focused long enough to at least do your job? Yes, I'm sorry. And I would, except that the defense attorney has yet to arrive. She's busy with the investigation. So let's keep this brief, shall we? Very well. In that case, please confirm that all the pieces of evidence are present. Furthermore, the evidence that was used in the murders of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rao are also included, so please go ahead and use them in your investigation into their case. Understood, Your Honor. Nice. Pieces of evidence that were used in the murder of those two men. This could be a very good chance for me to find new leads regarding your case. Maybe even something that will finally lead me to the truth. I've placed all of the evidence over at the prosecutor's bench for you. I see. Thank you very much. I will go and confirm that they are all accounted for. So this is the evidence related to today's Codopian Embassy trial for Mr. Faraday's bag. You mean the evidence bag that was on the table in lobby number 2, right? Yes, finally we can now take a look at the evidence itself. And not just data about them. Let's be sure to thoroughly examine them while we have the time. Agreed. I want to take a good look at all of the evidence from the embassy murder too. And why is that? Because I still don't fully understand what today's trial was about. Don't point your crop at me just because you don't know something. And don't you try to order me around just because Papa chose you today. I see someone is still sore about not being picked by Mr. Von Karma. It's also real to see the knife up close. So we have the knife, the gun, an envelope, and what's this organizer doing here? Oh, that's right. I completely forgot to tell you. About what, Your Honor? They found Mr. Faraday's personal organizer inside the evidence bag of his. Detective Bat requested it be passed along to you. He said it would help the investigation. Nice! Detective Bat said that? What a strange stroke of luck. Sorry. Well, never look a gift horse in the mouth. We might as well flip through it too. Okay. Mr. Faraday's organizer. Appears he was in the habit of using it. It looks like he wore his strategy for getting Mr. Rel convicted down in here. I have collected the evidence I need to prove that Rel was the killer. Between the handgun Rel had on him while he was arrested and the surveillance tape, I should be able to prove that he was the one. It appears that Mr. Faraday honestly believed that Mr. Rel was the killer in the case. Sound of his handgun going off was recorded with superb clarity on the surveillance video. Also have evidence that I can use to prove that Rel is not the real Yatagarasu. It would also appear that he had proof that Mr. Rel was not the Yatagarasu. No matter how me try to play it, stories of Yatagarasu's key, I can prove he's a phony? Wait, what? If I present it to him in court, it should clear everything up. And he apparently also had a very definitive piece of evidence. It's been a long battle. I hope that this will finally bring it to an end. Yes, I believe that Mr. Faraday was well prepared to discredit any claim Mr. Rel may have made about being the real Yatagarasu. And he had a way to prove that Mr. Rel was the guilty party in the embassy murder. These organizers are clues straight from Mr. Faraday. I'll have to take my time and give it a thorough read later. Look! There's a picture stuck between these pages here. It appears to be a key. And a rather ornate one at that. Just look at the design on the handle. The craftsmanship is superb. Could this be the Yatagarasu's key Mr. Faraday mentioned in his organizer? The Yatagarasu's key? Detective Bat said something earlier. What's different about this time was that evidence related to the smuggling ring was sent to the police. Oh! The Yatagarasu sent this key! I see. Yatagarasu sent the evidence. That is interesting. Evidence this time was something only Faraday and I and a select few others knew about. The key. Mr. Faraday must have been trying to keep this secret key safe. As the prosecutor on both the Yatagarasu and smuggling ring cases, that's to be expected. Okay. I took a quick look through these documents before the trial started. Well, I wasn't even afforded the opportunity to skim it. I suppose I should explain to you then. Yes, you should. Perfectly in its entirety, if you please. On the night of September 8th, an embassy staff member was killed in front of the embassy. Staff member died of shock due to being shot in the heart. Mackerel was brought in that night as a suspect and thoroughly questioned, because the murder weapon was found on him, for which he was arrested on the spot. A simpleton of a man, that's what he was. Perhaps he was, for the weapon wasn't the only incriminating evidence we had. Mr. Rell was caught in the act on film by a security camera. He was an even bigger simpleton than I thought. I can't believe he didn't notice the security camera. The Kodopian embassy security system is supposedly very well designed. He may have simply not been aware that there was a camera in the area. So, have you seen the contents of the video for yourself? Yes, the surveillance video the security camera took was played during the trial by Mr. Faraday. You can clearly identify Mr. Rell on it, even the sound of the gunshot was crystal clear. So the footage included sound, huh? I don't think I'd ever want to see the moment of someone's death in real life. Me neither. Well, Edgeworth, you will see the death of a man on a boat. I mean, the guy you saw wasn't the one that died, but you know what I mean. It's the knife that was used to kill Mr. Faraday. Who would have thought that such a beautiful piece of art could be used for such a cruel act? It's never crossed your mind that you used your riding crop for the wrong purpose. That's odd. What is it? Mr. Faraday didn't mention anything about the knife in his organizer. That certainly is odd. The weapon that was used to kill the Kodopian embassy staff member was the gun. But if that's the case, then where did the knife that was used to murder Mr. Faraday come from? Isn't it obvious? It was brought into the courthouse by Mr. Rell. That's the only logical conclusion, right? No, because it's not that easy to smuggle a weapon like that in here. Every person who enters the courthouse doors is checked thoroughly for contraband. Furthermore, the suspect was handcuffed, making it impossible for him to bring a knife as large as this inside. In that case, how do you suppose this knife ended up inside the courthouse? I need to think carefully here. There's nothing related to the knife written anywhere in Mr. Faraday's organizer. Let me see. No, it's a different pattern. However, it is a fact that this knife came from Mr. Faraday's evidence bag. Conversely, there is one item listed in Mr. Faraday's organizer that no one else has claimed to have seen today. So in order to solve this mystery, I believe I will need to take another good look at the evidence. Miles Edgeworth, can I take the fact that you have yet to answer me to mean that you don't have an answer for me? Actually, I do know the answer, Francisca. What? Then what is it? One of the pieces of evidence we've been holding has been a secret of its own. It was through this piece of evidence that the knife was brought into the courthouse. know why, but I like Francisca's hair color. I always like that light color. Ah. What are we talking about here? How was this smuggled into the courthouse? Through a Swiss roll. No. Something that hasn't been brought up yet. The plastic bag?
Take that!
No, that's wrong. Doesn't the handle look like the keys? No, it doesn't though. That's what confuses me. Yeah, I was wrong. I have to think carefully here. Yeah. It's nothing related to the knife written anywhere in Mr. Faraday's organizer. However, it is a fact that this knife came from Mr. Faraday's evidence bag. Conversely, there is one item listed in Mr. Faraday's organizer that no one has claimed to have seen today. The key, right? It was through this piece of evidence that the knife was brought into the courthouse. The knife? The key? Ah! Oh my gosh, I'm so dumb. It was so obvious! This Yatagaras's key Mr. Faraday mentions in his organizer. This is how the knife was brought into the courthouse. You're not making any sense, Miles Edgeworth. You just need to look a bit closer, Francisca, to see what I mean. Don't the color and ornamentation of the key's handle remind you of anything? They do remind me of the knife. Very good. Both the Yatagaras's key in this photo and the murderer's knife have this very unique design on their handles. But it was a different design, that's what threw me off. Furthermore, even though Mr. Faraday mentions the Yatagaras's key, the only object we found at the crime scene was the knife. You don't seriously mean to say? It appears that you finally caught up. And yes, I do mean to say that these two pieces are in fact one and the same. But that's impossible! Oh my god, the smirk. Even if that is what you believe, we should still investigate the possibility. Ugh. Well then, let's examine this knife in a little more detail. It's a weapon that was used to kill Mr. Faraday. The handle and the blade itself both have beautiful designs worked into them. Look, there's even a flower-shaped design in the skull section here. If this hadn't been used as a tool for murder, I'd want it for myself. You seem to be drawn to the embellishments. Too bad this isn't mine to give. Ah! There you are! Oh my god! Was it that freaking obvious? Ah! Can't believe it turned into a key. To think there was such a trick to this thing. So the weapon used to kill Mr. Faraday is actually the key to Yatagarasu stole. This piece of information is more critical than anything we've learned up until now. That is ingenious. Navzy, I am not an Edgeworth hater. I do not know where you got that from. You're the one that claims it. I haven't said anything of the sort. Anyway, I need to focus on Edgeworth. Frankly, I'm shocked. Mr. Faraday only mentioned the key aspect of this piece of evidence in his organizer. It's possible that even he had no idea the key was hiding a knife blade inside. But if that's true, then only someone who knew about the key to knife trick could have killed Mr. Faraday. Even among law enforcement, this key was top secret. We're looking for someone who knew even more about the key than even Mr. Faraday. Meaning that the only person it could be is the one who sent the key in the first place. The great thief Yata Garasio. Then maybe Mr. Rel really was the Yata Garasio. And he was the one who killed Mr. Faraday. Isn't that one possible scenario? No, not really. Especially since Mr. Faraday was absolutely convinced that Mr. Rel was not the Yata Garasio. Besides, as Detective Bat said earlier... But when we questioned Rel... Oh my gosh, what are you guys arguing about? What do you mean you said it? You can claim that all you want. I'm not gonna accept that statement. Nazi actually being the Edward hater? Whoa there, I'm never the Edward hater. The streamer can vouch for that. I mean, yeah, he's the biggest Edward simp I have ever come across. I mean, I even saw he wanted to stream this game too today. Unfortunately, the internet died on him. So, he's forced to watch my streams instead. Mwahaha! I don't want to be reminded. No worries. It's fine. Enjoy my streams. I see. Alright then, I guess the person who knows the trick behind this key is someone else. And that person is the real Yata Garasio. Seems that this key is truly the key to solving this case. Uh-huh. Knife data updated in my organizer. Okay. Is that it? Only the gun left. This gun. It was originally used to kill the Godopian embassy staff member. When the crime was reported, the responding police found Mr. Rel still holding it, which led to his immediate arrest. And then this gun took the original shooter's life. How ironic. Indeed. Does there seem to be anything else we can learn from this piece of evidence? That's odd. We're short one piece of evidence. Be right back to make breakfast? Yeah, sure, take your time. And the piece that's missing is the surveillance video that was played in court. The surveillance video? How could a piece of evidence just disappear? Where did it go? Video showing the moment in which Mr. Rel committed the murder. Where could it have gone indeed? Breakfast says 4:17. Amazing. But Navzi is American, so in American time zones it is morning. So that can be more understandable. Are you done with your inspection of the evidence? Yes. Yes, I finished. However, Your Honor, I am missing a single piece of prosecutorial evidence. Your Honor? Were you derelict in your duties? What? No, I dare not neglect my duties. What do you take me for? No, Your Honor, the most important piece of evidence in today's trial, the surveillance video, is not amongst the evidence you laid out for me. But I brought Mr. Faraday's whole bag with me from the crime scene. Maybe the tape is still somewhere at the crime scene. There's something wrong here. Something about this missing piece of evidence. It would appear that for me to find the answers I seek, I will have to pay another visit to the scene of the crime, defender lobby number 2. Oh my god! Holy crap! He looks... Oh my god, Agent Lang! Look at him! He's not fuzzy! He actually looks like a professional cop! What is he doing here? Oh my god, they met earlier? That's Detective Bat, but who is he with? I've never seen that officer before. So, did you find it? No, not yet, and I've looked everywhere. I see. Well then, please continue with the search. Understood, I'll continue the search. So you're the one running the show. Prosecutors like you shouldn't even be allowed at crime scenes. How dare you? Just who do you think you are? The hatred was 7 years old. Jesus. Look at him go. That's so weird. What was that all about? And who was that man just now? Whoever it was, I've never seen a more impudent officer in my life. Common and strong. Does he even know that we're standing right here behind him? Yes, he has a mirror. He can look straight behind him. I know you're standing right behind me. What do you want, kids? It looks like you were paying attention after all. Of course I was. I have eyes in the back of my head. Ah, so that mirror isn't only for vanity's sake. It's for him to keep an eye out on who or what is behind him at all times. So tell me, Detective Bad, who was that rude man just now? The guy came here from the Republic of Shengfa to study. He's Agent Lang. He's trying everything he can to revive the lost honor of his family. He's traveling the world to study different philosophies of entertainment from scratch. By visiting various police departments around the world, he has a lot of dedication. He's still just a rookie cop, but I sense a strong grudge of some sort from him. The guy's more useful than Gumshoe, even if he is rude. Wow! Gumshoe only had like 3 days of official work behind him. Don't be rude to Gumshoe. Well, he sure has a lot of guts to come in this country and give prosecutors a hard time. I agree, however, I can think of one young lady that statement also applies to. Anyway, what was that agent looking for, Detective Bad? Earlier, that little girl was poking around in lobby number 1 as well. Like I said before, it got nothing to do with the two of you. I highly doubt that it has nothing to do with me. Fine, if this is the game I must play, then I will take this opportunity to draw out what he's been hiding and what happened to this room straight from him. Get over here. Earlier you were in lobby number 1 and now you're here in lobby number 2. You are quite a busy man, Detective Bad. Multiple returns to a crime scene brings about success. That's what we detectives say. I see. In that case, you wouldn't mind if I asked you about what happened again, correct? I don't have anything left to say to you, boy. Ugh, boy? You'll see. I will draw my answer from you one way or another. Would it kill you to help us even a tiny bit in our investigation? I gave Faraday's notebook to the judge earlier. I mean, fair. That's helped enough, don't you think? Ugh. Please, we are asking for just a bit more of your cooperation. Don't push me, kid. I'd like to ask once again about what happened around here at the time of the crime. I refuse to answer. Any more investigating you do will be a waste of time. Besides, how am I supposed to answer questions about things I don't know about? Things you don't know about? But aren't you supposed to know everything? He should. Wait, is it possible? Maybe he doesn't know about the trick behind that piece of evidence. I should try showing it to him. May prove to be the key to getting some answers from Detective Bad. The trick. Oh, the key! The key. Detective Bad, did you know of the existence of the item in this photograph? Of course I did. It's my job to know everything related to the Yatagarasu case. In that case, let me ask you something. Did you know that the knife that killed Mr. Faraday and this Yatagarasu's key are one and the same? What? That's impossible. It looks like you didn't know after all. This piece of evidence, which we call the Yatagarasu's key, is actually a well-camouflaged knife. Mr. Faraday was planning to use his Yatagarasu's key to prove that Mr. L was not the real Yatagarasu. Isn't that correct? I guess so. However, Mr. Faraday had no idea that it was in fact a knife. Yeah, I have to admit, neither one of us knew that fact. And if neither of us knew, then no one in law enforcement knew either. How did we miss something as big as this? I noticed that since a little while ago you appeared to be searching for something. I presume that this key is what you were searching for. Yeah, that's right. And why were you searching for it? Because I promised Faraday. I promised that I'd protect that key with my life. But after he was killed, the key disappeared from Faraday's evidence bag. Who would have thought that key is what took Faraday's life? Detective Bad, so that we may find the truth, please testify for me once more. Alright, but if it doesn't matter how many times I tell you about what happened, nothing will change. Detective Bad, I ask that you please testify once more. But what happened in lobby number 2 and what you experienced in lobby number 1? My answer is still the same. And this is the last time I'm going to do this. That's fine, because I only need this one last time to clear everything up. To find the truth behind this case. Finally! Confrontation time! Okay. Detective Bat's movement. I was in lobby number 1, talking with you. We were talking about some trivial things. I heard the gunshot right before the trial was about to reconvene. When we heard it, you and I immediately dashed out into the hallway together. I saw Gumshoe goofing around there. And then we all ran into lobby number 2. It sounds like the exact same story he told us before. Indeed, however, I feel that we've yet to draw out all the information that we can. Okay, which statements are important? The press. That's... I mean... that doesn't matter. This one is important, I guess. Okay. Until you heard the gunshot, did you notice anything else that was out of the ordinary? I didn't hear any other strange sounds until that gunshot. If the gunshot Detective Bat heard was really the one from the murder, that would give that other piece of evidence an entirely different meaning. I asked you to please amend your testimony with that statement just now. Sure. I didn't hear any other strange sounds until that gunshot. Okay, what other strange sounds happened? The balloon popped! Objection! Yes! Okay! Easy! Detective Bad, does this balloon fragment remind you of anything? It's the same color as one Kay was holding. Oh, so you knew about that girl's balloon? Yeah, I was sitting with her up in the gallery. During the recess, just before we split up, I filled that balloon up for her. Aww. Well, as you may have already surmised, this piece did indeed come from Kay's balloon. So, what about the balloon? I wonder if you might remember hearing this balloon pop at some point. What are you getting at? This fragment was found in the hallway right in front of lobby number 2. Furthermore, it was the sound of this balloon popping that the judge mistook as a gunshot. Oh, so the sound that the judge heard was not actually a gunshot, huh? On top of that, his honor said that he heard the balloon pop about 20 minutes before the trial was to reconvene. Which means that his honor heard the balloon pop in the hallway when you were in lobby number 1, Detective Bad. And if you were in lobby number 1 at the time, you were close enough that you should have heard the balloon popping as well. So? What? But don't give me a soul. We just proved that there's a flaw in your testimony. The crackling of the truth is louder than the sound of your sweet naivete cracking. And since you kids don't seem to know, let me fill you in on something. Did you ever stop to think why the doors and walls you display seem so rugged? That's because it was designed to keep secrets from being leaked. What is that supposed to mean? The doors and walls are super thick. The window panes are double layered. To top it all off, even the curtains are made of a special sound-absorbing material. Then you mean... Since I was shut up inside lobby number 1, there was no way I could have heard that sound. Wait! Is he claiming the rooms are soundproofed? But then how did you freaking hear the gunshot? No! Ugh. I knew that's what he was going to say. Then that means that Scruffface's testimony is completely useless! If the rooms are soundproof, then of course he won't hear any sign of a struggle. Ugh. That's also why it's only natural that I didn't hear the balloon popping. Now do you get it, kids? Miles, I thought we were supposed to be the ones finding flaws in his logic. Not the other way around! The other way around? It's impossible to hear the sound of a balloon popping if one were in lobby number 1, However, if we examine the situation in reverse, the person standing in the hallway should not be able to hear the real gunshot either. Yet Detective Gumshoe claims to have heard it while he was standing in the hallway. Detective Bad, if that's the case, how exactly did you hear the gunshot? What do you mean, how? I just did. It would appear that you have yet to realize the contradiction in your own words. Yeah, the room is soundproof! How the heck would you have heard the gunshot? How so? The rooms are as soundproof as you say they are. Then how did the sound of the gunshot enter your ears? I see what you mean. I guess I'm more out of it from Faraday's murder than I thought. Which means what exactly, Miles? In the end, what does it all boil down to? It boils down to this. There must be a reason. As to how Detectives Bat and Gumshoe heard a gunshot they theoretically couldn't have. Looks like we need to examine the state of the crime scene again. It looks like we need to examine the state of the crime scene again, huh? State of the crime scene? Wait, can it be? That ultra strong perfume. Ooh, is this where we like put all the pieces together? Perfume. Ah! Way too noisy. Oh my god. That's where the surveillance tape went. That's the sound of the gunshot. Oh my god. How could a piece of evidence just disappear? Where did it go? Ah! This is it. This is it. Okay. Okay. The scent of flowers is in the air. So this with the perfume. Hype. Yes! Simply not possible for the killer to have escaped through the barred windows. Yet the fragrance of the perfume managed to escape from the vendor lobby number 1. Of course, incorporeal things can move freely through these open barred windows. Such as the sound of a television. Right? Yes! Now then, what else besides the smell can go both in and out of an open barred window? The answer is sound. So no matter how careful the killer was, if the windows were open, the jig would be up. Since the windows in both the tenant lobby number 1 and the hallway were open, that explains how the sound of a gunshot could be heard in both locations. And that is the missing evidence. That's what the surveillance tape was used for. Yes! The missing piece of evidence is a video. It shows the moment in which Mr. Rell killed the embassy staff member. The sound of the gunshot left quite an impression on me when it was played during the trial. The video should have been returned to Mr. Faraday's evidence bag for the recess. And brought back here. If it disappeared after that time, then it's possible that the tape is still here in this room. Eureka! He said it even in his youth! The evidence that the missing evidence created for me is the gunshot sound that no one should be able to hear in the first place. Miles, what have you been thinking about? Stop wasting time thinking and let's start looking again. It's not a waste of time to think, for I figured out where we should look. And where would that be? I believe we should examine the television. The TV. Well, you kids have fun. Go ahead and examine whatever you like. Begin investigation. Yes. Check the tape recorder. Quickly. Oh my god, it was still a time of tape recorders. It's a video player, and there seems to be a videotape inside. It looks like it. The tape must have stopped on its own when it reached the end. This tape, could it not be the missing surveillance tape? I suppose, but... Detective Bad, would it be alright with you if I verify the contents of this video? Sure, knock yourself out. Alright, let's rewind this and see what we have. If I remember correctly, the footage of Rell killing the embassy staff member should be at about the 30-minute mark from the start of the tape. Oh my god! This should be about right. Now then, let's see. This is the footage of Mr. Rell shooting the embassy staff member. I knew it. The missing piece of evidence, the surveillance video, was here all along. This sound. What's the meaning of this? That's the exact same sounds you heard, isn't it? Because Detective Bad has figured out the true source of the gunshots he heard. With this, I think we can figure out the trick behind this double murder. Do you mean that you figured it all out then? Yes, all I have to do now is show what the gunshot Detectives Bad and Gumshoe heard was, and through where they had heard it from. Ugh. Fine! In that case, show me what you've deduced. Yes, show me what you've deduced. And through where they heard it from. So they heard it through the window, and what they heard was the tape. Eureka! Eureka! If the door and windows to the crime scene, namely this room that we're in, were closed, the killer could have used a gun and no one would have been the wiser. That's true. This courthouse does seem to be well designed for such a thing, as it were. However, what happened in reality was Detective Gumshoe, Detective Bad, and Miss Yu, all three of them heard the gunshot. Well, the windows in lobby number 1, 2, and the hallway were open. So naturally, the people in those locations could hear it. Ah, but then, why would the criminal open the window in the first place? To allow the gunshot to be heard, I suppose. Correct. That's the only logical conclusion we can draw from this. But why was that necessary in the first place? I want a real answer, Miles. I demand satisfaction. Very well. I believe that the killer wanted to manipulate our perception of a certain fact. What was it that the killer wanted to manipulate our perception of? When the crime took place! The killer wanted to fabricate the time of death to their precise wishes. And they used a gunshot in the surveillance video to do so. Yes! Yes! So that's why the tape was left running. You mean the gunshot I heard was from this video? Yes, which means that the murders really occurred at an earlier time than we thought. Which opens up another suspect, I hope. Must have been during the recess, but before Detective Gumshoe was on guard duty. Someone who has no alibi for that time period. And planned this crime out in advance. That person is the real killer. Yes! That was easy. Okay. Mr. Edgeworth. Yes, what is it? Miss Yu is asking for you. She's in the courtroom. It's time to put her in jail. She says she's identified the murderer, but that she wants to clarify something. It looks like Miss Yu is still investigating something. Understood? Please tell her that it will be right over. I'll come along. I want to hear what she has to say. It would appear that the time has come to uncover the truth. I agree! Let's put this bee to jail! I really don't like her. Okay. 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 Confrontation former. Oh my gosh. This confrontation is going to be so long! It's good that I stopped when I did last stream. Well, at least it will be an argument like before in the courtroom. Hi, Kay. Right in the corner. Oh my god, I thought she was gonna kick me again. Kay, what are you doing here?
Oh, hello, mister. I'm still investigating.
But the object you're looking for has already... Kay, don't mind him. Please continue with your investigation.
Okay, you got it.
Detective Bad, haven't we already found what you were looking for? PTSD of the cake. It was. I mean, she tried twice. So a third time was not out of the ordinary for me, I think. If it means I can keep her in the dark just a little longer, any little task will do. Oh, you're more sympathetic than I thought. Aw, but it's his little cousin Kay. A little niece Kay. It's so cute. Okay. I've been waiting for you, Edgeworth. I've also been waiting for the moment in which we can finally lay this case to rest. The moment in which we can finally lay this case to rest. Wasn't that when we placed Detective Gumshoe under arrest? I hate this woman with all of my being. She just laughs every freaking sentence we say. I think we've more than solved this case already. Don't you? We'll see. It all depends on whether or not your logic holds. Oh, I see we even have a viewer in the gallery. And why even Mr. Bad is here. A viewer in the gallery? I'm hardly just a bystander. I have a duty to see this case through to the end. No matter how it turns out. Oh, is that right? Anyway, I thought you might like to hear what I've slaved away to find out. I've taken statements on every single person's movements during the time when our suspect was in the hallway. I also confirmed that there is no possible route of escape from lobby number 2. Therefore, the killer must be, without a doubt, be Detective Gumshoe. Now, that's all you have. Yeah, that's all there is to my conclusion in this case. Sorry, but I beg to differ. In a trial, there's always time for a rebuttal. And we are standing in a court of law. It'd be more than appropriate to follow the rules in court in this case, don't you think? How absolutely like a rookie to think such a thing. But alright, I'll play along and give you proper testimony. If my logic is correct, then I've already won. All I have to do now is prove it by showing who the real killer is. She's standing right in front of me! Let's bring her down. Everyone says the suspect has an alibi for when the gun went off. Furthermore, the areas around the crime scene have all been thoroughly investigated, right? They also confirmed that there's no possible escape route from lobby number 2. Which leaves us with one unshakable conclusion, that Detective Gumshoe is the killer. No. Now that you have your testimony, expect a good rebuttal, Ashworth. But of course, there is no need to confront her logic head-on right now. I should instead focus on drawing out any trump cards she has up her sleeve. Okay. So just press everything.
Hold it!
The suspect, but I thought that Detective Gumshoe's alibi has already been proven. Ugh. Are you joking, Edgeworth? I assure you this is no joke. Look, I know you heard from the judge earlier. The detective was in the hallway with Mr. Faraday's daughter eating a Swiss roll. Yes, that is correct. But see, that was 20 minutes before the real gunshot went off, right? And the problem is, there's no one else who could corroborate what he did since the snacking. My sister's under research, well, which means that I should focus on drawing out whatever trump card she was holding. Her earrings bother me like she has the power to judge all. Yeah, she's so high and mighty. Just every single thing she says, we say, she sees as a joke. She has a higher ego than Edgeworth. It's so annoying. Whether they have been thoroughly investigated or not is for me to decide. Oh, the scratched eyebrows and lines on your forehead are back. Anyway, even if you believe it hasn't been exhaustive, the crime scene lobby number 2 has no way out other than the hallway Detective Gumshoe was standing in. Because he claimed to be there, that makes him the only possible suspect. But isn't it also possible that someone escaped through a window and into the garden? No. Nope, that's not true. That's the first place everyone looked, silly. Police aren't a bunch of lazy bums. They looked into every possibility, you know. Is that right, Mr. Bad? Yeah. There wasn't a scrap of evidence to suggest someone used one of the windows. There also weren't any footprints to anything in the courtyard garden. I suppose they really did check everything that could be relevant to the case.
Hold it!
Are you absolutely positive that there's no possible routes of escape? Of course I'm sure. And why are you so certain? This is a courthouse, the place where criminals are brought to be judged. If there was an escape route, I'm sure every criminal will be using it to escape. It's just common sense. Ugh. Miles Edgeworth, I suggest you use a bit more of it in the future. Ah!
Hold it!
You may think it's unshakable, but to me, there are still too many unanswered questions. For example, who was it that placed the gun in Mr. Faraday's hands? But you're the only one who's still wondering that. Detective Gumshoe probably had no idea which hand Mr. Faraday used to write with. Even if you know someone, it doesn't mean you'll know which hand they write with, right? I mean, I certainly don't care about that sort of thing. I'm about to let her get a rise out of me with such a flippant statement. I suppose we've really reached the end now. I already have my trump card ready. All that remains is to play it. But before I do, I think I should inquire into a little something about her argument. You said earlier that you confirmed the alibis of every person other than the suspect. However, I don't recall either Francisca or myself speaking with you about the subject. Ah, but there were witnesses. For you, there is your mentor who gave you an alibi. I see. That's for the little Missy. She came to the courthouse during the recess. It was stopped by a security guard at the door to the hallway. She gave me quite a whipping for that. So I heard. I'm the daughter of Manfred von Karma, and I will not be forcibly stopped by a guard, or a bailiff, or anyone else. Wait, so basically the only reason Francisca bothered to show up today was because she found out that I was to be the replacement prosecutor? Of course! Of course she did. I mean, how dare von Karma choose Edgeworth instead of his own daughter? By the way, Miss Yu, what about everyone's alibis before Detective Gumshoe was assigned to guard duty? What about them? Have you looked into what people were doing during that span of time? What kind of idiot do you take me for? It doesn't matter when the killer went into lobby number 2. From the time we heard the gunshot to the time Mr. Barrett and I arrived on the scene as we dashed from lobby number 1, the only person who could have committed the crime was Detective Gumshoe. Yes, let's talk about when you and Detective Bat heard that gunshot, shall we? I suppose that if we go by your logic, then Detective Gumshoe is the only one. However, what if the crime had occurred at an entirely different time than when the gunshot you heard went off? What then? That gunshot was a strap meant to manipulate. Sadly, your explanation is very lacking, Edgeworth. The gunshot we heard in lobby number 1. Can you explain how that could have been fabricated? Duh. This.
Take that!
That tape? Yes, it's exactly what you think it is. This is the surveillance tape of Mr. Rell the prosecution presented in today's trial. This was found loaded into the video player in lobby number 2. That was connected to the large television that has its volume turned all the way up. Can't honestly mean that the sound we heard was the gunshot in the video. Ah, but I do. Which leads me to my next point. The murders occurred much earlier than when anyone heard the gunshot. That's the only thing I can think of, too. After committing double homicide, the killer took the surveillance video out from Mr. Faraday's evidence bag, turned the television's volume all the way up, and left the video to play. If played from the beginning, it would take 30 minutes from the gunshot sound to come on. And since we now know that this method of time manipulation is possible, it opens up the possibility that the killer is someone other than Detective Gumshoe.
Objection.
Sounds from a television doesn't amount to much here. But of course, Mr. Prosecutor Edgeworth and little Miss Von Karma already knew that much from the very beginning, right? Of course we knew! Didn't we, Miles? Yes, of course. We know about the soundproof quality of this courthouse's rooms. Of course, I'm not about to admit we had no idea until a little while ago. That's right, and if the rooms are soundproof, then we should not have been able to hear it. And yet we heard the gunshot clear as day. And that's it! End of story! But it's not. How should I explain why she was able to hear the gunshot from a soundproof room? The window was open! There is actually one common point between lobby number 1 and lobby number 2. And this is despite the fact that both rooms have air conditioners installed. A window was open in each! Now, we know that the window in lobby number 2 was opened by the killer. However, a window opened in lobby number 1. A window in lobby number 1 was also opened.
Objection.
It's probably just coincidence that we're both open at the time.
Objection.
No. There's no mere coincidence, I assure you. Why was the window open in lobby number 1? The answer is that a certain person did something to cause the window to be opened. The person who triggered that action, that person is a real guilty party! The real killer in this double murder is her! It is her! Let's throw her in jail! And then bury her into the graveyard! Miss Callisto Yu, I hereby formally indict you of the murder of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rell. What? You indict me? Are you serious, Miles? Why do you think she's the killer? I don't understand her motive just yet. But of course I'm serious. Because she's the only one who could have done it. Well, Monsieur, do you still feel like laughing now? Of course I do, Edgeworth. My arguments must not be tight enough yet. Although I never thought things would spiral into this. Well, have you know I'm enjoying this dance quite a bit. I guess this means it's time for my own rebuttal now, right? Okay. Misused rebuttal. You argued that the window was opened. However, do you have proof it was I who did that? Furthermore, do you have proof that the tape was used in committing the crime? Frankly, I'm shocked that you're going around accusing people for murder like this. Especially with logic as full soulless as yours. This is where it really starts. I mustn't let my guard down for even a second or the truth will blow away. Now it's the time to put the patented von Karma perfect proof to the test. Okay. Do you have proof that it was I who did that? For safety reasons. Shall I press everything first or shall I just present it? Let's just present it. I'm impatient. I want this woman in jail.
Objection!
Oh my god, it's correct. Yes, yes, yes. Throw this woman in jail. I'm sure you've seen this before, haven't you, Monsieur? Ashworth, I never knew you were into wearing that kind of perfume. It's not exactly what I recommend for boys, you know? This isn't mine. That's right, it's mine. And I received it from Detective Bad, you see. Monsieur, you can pretend all you like, but we know at least this much is for sure. That you are the one who gave this bottle of perfume to Detective Bad. And that, you're super easy to rile up. So, what about the perfume? While you were in lobby number 1, you made a big show of spilling some of this perfume. That's according to Detective Bad. Oh, I know. You also know that if you spilled it, you would naturally move to open a window. Ah! Come now, I already told you that it's all just a big coincidence. After we opened the window in lobby number 1 and just left it open, you know? So maybe it was just dumb luck that we heard the gunshot through the window. The timing of when you were going to spill the perfume is something you could control. And the most important fact about this case is when people were made to hear the shot. I really dislike you. She does not take it seriously at all to throw her into jail. Yes! And next month, I will also throw her into the graveyard. So look forward to that. Furthermore, it would have been pointless if you didn't have an alibi for yourself at the time. You mean? Miss you were the one who called Detective Bad into lobby number 1. And when you saw him bring Detective Gumshoe into the hallway, is that correct? All of today's premeditated events could only have been thought up by you, Miss Yu. You accused me of murder on the fact that I spilled a little perfume. Well, allow me to say this much. I couldn't have killed Mr. Faraday. But you can't testify as to why. Look, I've had a lot of fun today, really. But I grow weary of this game of cat and mouse. Let's make this the last testimony and wrap up this absurd case once and for all. Final time, come on. Why it couldn't be me? Accusing someone of murder over a spilled bottle of perfume is a bit over the top. But I suppose forgery of evidence is to be expected of a disciple of von Karma. Oh, that's low. In any case, I simply could not have been me who killed Mr. Faraday. After all, I don't even know where the knife that was used to kill him came from. Miles' testimony is flawless. Yes, but no matter what sort of trick she may try to pull, she won't escape me. And if I'm lacking information, I'll just draw it out of her. Press everything!
Hold it!
Oh, I'm forced to press everything. I think I already explained the significance of that. You only confirmed that I did spill some perfume. That's all. That you would accuse me of murder based on a simple spill. Don't you dare complain when I sue you for defamation of character. Do as you like, but as for me, I believe. You believe. I believe that you are the true culprit in this case. Why you're enthusiastic? Of course, I should have guessed.
Hold it!
I formally request that you desist in your attack against my mentor. Yes, I will sue you for defamation. All I'm doing is telling the truth. Well, maybe more like spreading gossip. Although your adamant denials are, shall we say, just adding fuel to the fire. How dare you say such a thing? Calm down, little girl. Don't let her get you. Aw, why did you have to ruin my fun? Well, shall I continue?
Hold it!
And why exactly could you not have killed him? I was just about to testify to that. You're such an impatient man. I'm not really into that, you know, Ashworth. Like I would ever date you. Ugh. Your preferences have no bearing on what is at hand. Feeling a little uncomfortable, are we?
Objection!
Miss you will desist in this tomfoolery and return to your testimony. And Miles, if you're going to lose your cool, then I won't show you any mercy. Sorry, Miss Yu, please continue with your testimony. Sure. As I was saying, I couldn't have possibly killed Mr. Faraday.
Hold it!
At this rate, she will inevitably escape. If she really was the one who killed Mr. Faraday, then she must have known about the existence of the knife. I'm sorry, Miss Yu. Maybe you weren't aware. However, the knife that we used to kill Mr. Faraday was taken from this evidence bag. Miles, what do you think you're doing? I'm drawing the truth out of her. That's what I'm doing. Huh? I don't recall a knife being presented at the trial earlier today. No, but it was there. Well, I suppose it's because the evidence was something Mr. Faraday had yet to use. So that's what you're trying to do. Look, why don't you cut it out with the lies? I've already figured you out. There was no knife beside Mr. Faraday's evidence bag. The only evidence he had yet to present was the key the Yatagarasu had sent. And unless a key can magically turn into a knife, you really don't have a leg to stand on. Should you really think you could trap me? Come now, be honest. Huh, I never intended to do such a thing. It was all a misunderstanding on my part. In any case, I wonder if you might append what you said to your testimony. Sure, why not? I'll even say it as many times as you'd like. It is I, Wingin. Oh, hi, Wingin. Welcome to the stream. Home from work and very sleepy from watching a Yakuza stream until past midnight on the weekday yesterday. A franchise. It's on sale! Oh my gosh, I need to go immediately. After the stream. After the stream. Anyway, we need to bring this woman down. There wasn't a key in this evidence bag, but you simply can't kill anyone with a simple key. Hi, Nazi. Welcome back. Miss Yu, I would just like to confirm something with you one more time. Oh, but what's going to happen to Detective Gumshoe after this? I don't need to ask you about that, because he isn't the killer. Looks like the number of wrinkles on your forehead has increased yet again. That issue aside, Miss Yu, I'd like to ask you about what was inside the bag. You are sure that's Yatagarasu's key, correct? Yes, I'm sure. Which is why I'm completely baffled as to where that knife could have come from. I think I've just spotted the road to a perfect victory. Finally, it will appear that you've revealed your true identity, Miss Yu. Miles? Her final statement! Yes, I know. All I have to do now is present the evidence. What is this ominous feeling that I can't shake? She knew. She knew it turned into a knife.
Objection!
She's the Yatagarasu? What? Wait, what? What did I just say? She's the Yatagarasu? That doesn't make any sense. What? K is the descendant of the Yatagarasu. Mr. Faraday was the Yatagarasu. But logically, right? Throw your hands in the air. It's just what? And call it a day. It's just I'm so confused. Miss Yu, I wonder if you might take a look at this photo for me. And call it a day for poor Kay. This is a picture of the key the Yatagarasu sent to the police. However, while it may look like a key at first glance, it in fact has the secret ability to transform into a knife. Which means that what was inside Mr. Faraday's bag was both the Yatagarasu's key and the murderous knife. You knew that the key was inside Mr. Faraday's bag, did you not? Yes. But with the Yatagarasu's key alone, it's more than possible to kill Mr. Faraday. Yes. You understand now? Just knowing of the existence of the Yatagarasu's key. I still haven't had a good look at it. Seriously? Showing it to me from that far away? You can be lying for all I know. You would, even now, still feign ignorance. I'm not feigning anything. We can't have you accusing me of a crime with false evidence now, can we? I mean, Mr. Von Karma, I've heard some very interesting rumors about him. Are you mocking my papa? Don't you dare sully the good name of my mentor. Good name. Funny. Now take a good look. This piece of evidence is more than real. Wow. Who knew there was such a trick to this thing? Are you satisfied now? But of course, you knew from the very beginning, didn't you? You knew that the knife and Yatagarasu's key are one and the same. Otherwise, someone like you, who isn't a member of law enforcement and who would never have been privy to this trick, would have never known about it to begin with. Oh, she's getting nervous. She's going faster. Furthermore, there's something that the Yatagarasu sent to the police. How did you have knowledge as to what it was? Actually, I heard it from Mr. Faraday. Just before he dragged Mr. Rell off, he told me. Oh, that's right. I almost forgot. He also told me about the key turning into a knife at that time. He didn't know! But he didn't tell me about how the key actually transformed.
Objection!
He and Bad didn't know about it. What you are saying is simply not possible. Oh, why not? Because Mr. Faraday himself didn't know about the hidden knife within the key. For within these pages, he mentions nothing about a knife.
Objection!
Thank God we did use voice. I mean, she does have a good objection. But that's everything she has. I'm not sure it would have written everything is organized, you know? Would something of this importance be better left to oral communication?
Objection!
No, otherwise it would have told Bad. Unfortunately, that is also impossible. Because Detective Bad didn't know about the knife aspect either. Compared to original is big improvement. Okay, I'll take your word for it. It would have been highly classified information, even within the police force. And it's something that even the lead detective on the case didn't know. Why would Mr. Faraday have felt the need to share such information with the opposition? Yeah, I guess he wouldn't have much of a reason to. Looks like I gave a pretty lame excuse, huh? How can you laugh at the time like this? She probably just realized the flaw in the logic, and is actually in a panic over it. But that's not something we need to concern ourselves with. I suppose you're right. Miss Yu, I'd like to state that I also know how you know the real nature of the knife. Do you now? Well, why don't you put your money where your mouth is and show me? Oh, I will. And I'll wipe that smile off your face by the time we're through. This is it. The moment of truth. The secret behind the Yatagarasu's key. Only one person would have had knowledge of it from the get-go. Who would know from the start that the Yatagarasu's key could change into a knife? The Yatagarasu!
Take that!
There's only one person who would have known about the dual nature of the key. And that is the person who sent the Yatagarasu's key to the police. That is to say, the Yatagarasu herself. Are you saying that this lawyer is the great thief Yatagarasu? Miss Yu, you used Mr. Rell to lure Mr. Faraday into a trap, didn't you? You, who profess to bear a grudge against criminals. Why? Why do something like this? Oh, the thought that you, a stupid rookie prosecutor, would see through me. You're sending the biggest shield I must fight right now, Edgeworth. This feeling of thrill, it's even greater than when I sneak into some place. You You killed Faraday? Why? Answer me, Callisto you. Callisto you, huh? That's not my real name. Because my real identity is... Yes, the great thief Yatagarasu. Let me tell you something, Edgeworth. Mr. Faraday was one difficult man to deal with. For you see, he had discovered my true identity. What? Which is why I had to erase him from the world of law. I made Rel an offer, an acquittal for a little favor in return. All he had to do was accuse Mr. Faraday of being the Yatagarasu in court. But once we entered the recess, Rel was dragged off by Mr. Faraday, which threw my plan into a complete mess. I chased after them, and eavesdropped on them through a crack in the door. That Rel caves to only two things: money and authority, just as all thugs do. I feared my plan was going to be ruined if Mr. Faraday held onto Rel any longer. Plus, if I had let them continue on the way they were, I would have been found out. That's why I had no choice. I had to kill them both. But didn't you say that you despise criminals? Also... do I really? You... Have you forgotten about the KG8 incident too? Maybe. What sort of woman would... So then, was it your plan to kill Mr. Faraday with the very evidence that you sent? Well, I had a good idea of what Mr. Faraday was going to do. I anticipated Mr. Faraday was going to prove that Rel wasn't the Yatagarasu by using this Yatagarasu's key as evidence, and that he would bring it with him. Which is why I thought to use the knife portion. With a weapon as well disguised as this, no one would be the wiser. Because who in their right mind would think something like this could be a weapon? I casually entered lobby number 2 on the pretext that I had to talk with Mr. Faraday. And in order to get it with him, I pretended to be worried about something. He then let me hold the Yatagarasu's key, just like that. He never noticed I had to change the key into a knife inside that plastic bag. And he didn't have the chance to take note of the knife that took his life. How could you kill him? I knew him for a long time, you know? At the very least, I thought to give him a quick and painless death. But if you killed Mr. Faraday first, there was no need for you to kill Mr. Rel as well. He was a witness? I believe I mentioned why when we were placing Detective Gumshoe under arrest. Something about having accidentally created an eyewitness? And how that led the killer to think about setting it up as though they killed each other. Then the trick with the surveillance tape. Yes, I had actually planned to use a gun. The risk was too high that I'd be caught. However, that's when I remembered the existence of that surveillance tape. Which is why Rel helped set me up the crime scene. Oh my god! And after all was said and done, I rewarded him for all his hard work with the bullets. You're a defense attorney, aren't you? How could you betray a client? Client? If you want to talk about who was a client of who's first, it was me. What? I was the client in the murder of the Cadopian embassy staff member, dead man. What? You ordered a hit job? You still haven't figured it out, Mr. Bad. I had Dead Man killed because he was about to give away info about the smuggling ring. Now, who exactly do you think would benefit from such an assassination? It can be you. That's right. I'm a member of the smuggling ring. What is happening? That man deserved it though, kinda, not gonna lie. Yeah, but a name like that, I mean, he was tempting fate all along. His parents were so dumb. How could this? You don't mean you're working with Manny coaching too, do you? Maybe, maybe not. Guess you'll never know. Yatagarasu claims to be noble, but you're just another cold-blooded murderer. That's right, little girl. The Yatagarasu is just another killer. Be quiet, you. Yatagarasu! You can run from the law, but you'll never escape it. So just humbly accept the judgment of this court. Hey, Edgeworth. Did you know? Yatagarasu has 3 legs. Do you know what that is? Wait a second. Could that mean that the Yatagarasu is actually 3 people? Now? Well, let me tell you. It means that the Yatagarasu has more than one razor-sharp way to do her what? What the frick? Gun! Run! You really are too naive, Edgeworth. What is going on? You did the meme! With an actual gun. What is going on? She sent us a photograph. Look at this gun. You even handed the Yatagarasu ski right to me without a second thought. Everything may not have gone according to plan, but I'll still gladly take it. And also, stop pointing a gun at Francie. Yeah, she's still a child. Ugh. You mean the key was your real target? And even after I gave you such great advice, didn't I tell you to always keep a good eye on the criminal? Or you may regret what comes after your negligence. You two, get down! Ah! Ah! Oh, my body, I can't move. Oh, no!
Hey, mister, to your right!
Ah! No! No! No, 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 no! Did you get shot? Oh my gosh, he's running. Oh, he lives. Okay. Are you alright, Francisca? I'm perfectly fine, Miles. Her voice is shaking. Well, looks like she's unharmed. Where did Kay go? That's a gunshot! No! 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 Please! Please don't let him be! He's... No! September 10th, 7. Bad is bad. No! I refuse to believe it! No! He lives! He lives! Oh, thank God! Sorry. But it looks like she got away. I called the precinct. She should have a perimeter set up soon. Detective Bad, are you alright? I heard a gunshot. I'm okay. Just got another hole in my jacket. They say he's fine, but it looks quite shaken. This man is a lucky son of a gun. Son of a gun. But more importantly, boy. I mean, Mr. Edgeworth, Miss Von Karma. Are you two hurt? I'm absolutely fine. I'm also alright. Thanks to Kay. Speaking of Kay, where is she? I don't know. She just sort of disappeared. I'll go look for her. Oh, and hey, Detective Gumshoe. Yes, sir! Detective Bat, sir! I'm sorry I doubted you. Don't worry, sir. It's not your fault. Well, I lied to you guys too, after all. I heard about what happened from Kay. Lying while giving testimony is still unforgivable. But in this case, you were protecting Kay and her feelings. Looks like you just might have what it takes to be a real detective. Yay! Approval from the higher-ups! Now don't you ever lose that detective spirit, okay? You got it, Pops! Pops! Pat knows what I sure can't. Pops! Watched one too many detective dramas recently, have we? Way to single-handedly destroy the cheery atmosphere with one snarky comment. That's Francisca. Throw a box into him until he's dead. What? Let's get back to the investigation. I swear, I'll catch you if it's the last thing I do. Careful, Detective Bat, and take care. Thanks. Well, I'm off. Maybe we'll run into each other again someday. Bye-bye. Thanks a bunch, pal. You're the best. You really did find out the truth behind everything. Yes, well, I'm glad we solved everything before you were taken to prison. The judge still feels depressed. I can't believe how much trouble I caused you with my testimony, Detective Gumshoe. It was no problem, really. I mean, I lied too, so I didn't help anything. It's really not your fault, Your Honor. Well, even if we didn't have His Honor's testimony, I think that lawyer would have found another way to get you convicted on her behalf. Don't worry, Judge. He will cause more trouble in the future. Oh, he will. I mean, it's nice if he at least gets one apology in his lifetime. You, your Canadian brother. Oh yeah, he exists too. I think that lawyer would have found another way to get you convicted on her behalf. Yeah, I can't believe I was about to get fired during my first week as a detective. You know anything about... Oh, Spirit of Justice Judge. No, I haven't played that game yet. Because this one was voted first by democracy. In my first week as a detective? Well, so long as you're not fired, you just work hard, give all that you have, and perform your duties well. Oh. And one more thing. Kay left a present for you with me. She did? Oh, what is it? What was it that Kay left for me? Proof of their friendship. The Swiss roll!
Take that!
I know, but you know what he looks like. I mean... Yeah, I saw pictures of the man. He does look exactly like the other judges. It's a courthouse special Swiss roll! Can I really have it? Yes, it's a present meant for you after all. Thanks a bunch! You have no idea how happy this makes me, pal! I'm gonna eat this right now! Sure, go ahead. The Swiss rolls Detective Gumshoe and Kay bought together. Ah, all the one Kay saved never reached her father. It would appear that her sentiments have touched the heart of this detective. Didn't want to spoil anything, so wanted to make sure. Yeah, thank you for that, actually. He's so happy, it's as though he's having a welcome back celebration of his own. Well, I was asked by Kay to give it to him. What? That was good, pal! I can't believe I got to eat 2 of these delicious things in one day. It's like I'm in a Swiss roll paradise or something. I've got to thank Kay myself. Hey, wait, where is she? You only noticed just now? What's if might not present when we discussed her earlier? Detective Bat left to go search for her earlier. Maybe you should go join him. Yeah, you betcha, pal! I'm gonna go help him. Oh, but first... You know what, pal? Actually, I guess I shouldn't be so rude to you anymore, huh? Ah! I'm gonna stick right by your side, Mr. Edgeworth, sir! This is the start of a beautiful friendship. I sense nothing but the most troublesome relationship from that ominous statement. We should go home too, Miles. We have to hurry and report what has happened to Papa. Agreed. Well, I'm afraid we must be going now, Detective. Roger, sir. And don't you worry. I'll investigate the next case we're on real well. I'll, be counting on you. The scent of trouble is definitely in the air. Thus, like a bad dream, my first outing at court came to a disturbing end. A few months later, I was finally able to properly stand in court as a prosecutor against Mia. The detective in charge of the investigation was, as I dreaded, Detective Gumshoe. After that, he became my direct subordinate. I have tried, but words fail to describe the immeasurable suffering he has caused me. But I suppose that's just how things are. As for the little girl who suddenly disappeared, she's now She's now right here.
So, do you remember now?
Yes. I remember everything. Kay, it's been a while. Kay, you sure grew up a lot!
Of course! But thank goodness, I thought you two had totally forgotten about me.
You know, I was really worried about you after all that. Where have you been all this time?
Gabby, I didn't know you cared. After my father died, I went to go live with my mother's relatives. They lived really far away, so I wasn't really able to come back here all that much.
Oh, is that what happened? Well, I'm just glad you're alright.
So, does it all make sense now?
You betcha it does.
Oh, you know what? I was going through my father's bookshelves recently, and...
Hold it!
Actually, there are still a number of things that don't make sense, Kay. Huh? First of all, why did you come all this way to see me? And second, why are you calling yourself the Yatagarasu? The Yatagarasu is Callisto you, the woman who killed your father.
No, you're wrong! The real Yatagarasu was my father! I knew it!
I knew something was off. But Mr. Faraday was the Yatagarasu?
Like I said, I was going through my father's bookshelf recently.
Oh, sorry. It's just... my nose is going through it again.
And I found a secret diary hidden amongst his books. I have no regrets in choosing to walk the path of the Yatagarasu. That was written in his diary, and that's how I know for sure.
But that's impossible.
What's with that look? You don't believe me?
It wasn't just the expression on my face. I clearly said it was impossible just now.
Alright then, how do you explain this?
It's a way of disarming any security system of the user's choosing.
Yep, that's the little thief. Truth be told, this is the Yatagarasu's greatest secret. And this little gizmo was used by my father.
Wow, Mr. Faraday wasn't just a great prosecutor, he was really a great thief, huh?
Yeah, my father worked really hard to steal the truth. But he was killed. Yatagarasu was no more. But despite that, Yatagarasu has been spotted again recently.
Someone other than you?
Here, Mr. Edgeworth. Take a look at this article.
Sends a card to the embassy. The Yatagarasu sent the embassy a calling card?
Yeah, meaning this person's a fake. I'm almost certain that Callisto you lady's behind this. Because the real Yatagarasu would never send something like a the card out.
But the Yatagarasu did send a white card along with anything to be publicized. That's what Detective Bat told me 7 years ago, if memory serves.
Well, as soon as I heard the news, I got all wound up, and I knew I couldn't just let it go. So I searched you out, so that I could obtain the truth behind the Yatagarasu. Because if anyone can help me find it, I figured it's you, Mr. Edgeworth.
So you're saying that I have your father's and Monsieur's identities backwards?
Yes, because the real Yatagarasu is noble to the end. And I want to revive the real, noble Yatagarasu.
If I don't,
my father would never be able to rest in peace.
Kay, you're so honorable. I don't care what anyone else thinks. I'll always be here to cheer you on, pal. Even if you are honorable, a thief is a thief. And if you are planning to commit a crime, then I'm afraid I can't be complicit. Mr. Edgeworth? Oh, you guys are not making it easy for me. Who am I supposed to support now?
Mr. Edgeworth, what I want from you is not to steal something. What I want is the arrest of that evil woman.
That evil woman? You mean Callisto you?
I think it's too hard for me to catch her all by myself. But I thought that since you were able to expose her for who she is, then maybe... Please, Mr. Edgeworth, won't you help me?
Come to think of it, I do believe I owe you.
Huh? Owe me for what?
When Miss Yu made her escape, it was you who saved my life. Furthermore, you helped me with the investigation today. I'm not so rude as to leave favors unrepaid.
That you mean?
Yes. That case has been weighing down my soul ever since that fateful day. Perhaps the time has come to settle things once and for all. If you don't intend to sully your hands in a crime, then I believe I can help you.
Mr. Edgeworth, thank you!
Yay, Mr. Edgeworth, sir! Is that great, Kay?
Yeah, it sure is, Gummy!
Even though he had completely forgotten about her until just now. Ugh, what is with their chummy relationship? The great thief Yatagarasu. After all that time, the true identity of the thief sank back into the darkness. Burn Faraday, Callisto Yu, and Kay Faraday. The phantasmagorically changing identity of the great thief Yatagarasu. And the Yatagarasu's real goal would all come to light the day after I made that promise to Kay. We did it! Finally! Wow, that took 2 hours? What? My goodness. Well, 1 second. I will disappear for a few seconds. And then I will have a bit of a snack break. So, 1, 2, 3, I disappear. One, two, three, and I appear. The case has been solved, Wingen. Okay, time for a bit of a break. My goodness. Okay, I have some candy, some chocolate. Just let me have some candy. Ah. So that was fun. But I wanted to throw that woman in jail. Oh well. Guess I'll have to... Guess I'll just have to accept that I can only throw her in the graveyard. I'm just excited I have someone to throw into the graveyard. There aren't that many candidates this year. Ah. Delicious. What the frick? Why? My water reacted for a strange way there. The carbonation acted really strange for a second. Okay. One more, and then we'll continue. This is nice. I haven't had any chocolate in a while. I wonder... No, what was I doing? Jesus. Come on. Lower. There we go. No one sees me now. I can eat my chocolate in peace here. Peace. Ah. Wait a bloody second. What is this? What am I looking at? What? What? 1 sec. Oh my gosh, guys. I saw just a pile of stress rolls underneath this deck. What is happening with me? I'm scared. No. I found like a secret cabinet in this underneath this desk. There's like thousands of Swiss rolls in here. No, not thousands, like tens of Swiss rolls. Like packets of beef jerky as well. The judge really is just secretly snacking during these cases, huh? Maybe that's why he's not paying attention during the trials most of the time. Because he's just secretly eating all the courtroom snacks. Okay. I know your secret now, Judge! Oh well. I also don't pay attention while I'm eating. Me and Dad, she found you. She found your hidden treats! Yeah. Well, my dad doesn't hide his treats under his desk. I already found that trick out when I was a kid, so he had to... He was forced to move his secret spot. I mean, nowadays I'm an adult, so I can have my own snacks. So he just told me, like... He had, like, a secret stash in his closet now. Even Mom didn't know about it until recently. Oh, she was mad. Because we try to eat healthily in our house. That's just what he wants you to think. He's still got a secret candy hide. Okay, I'll check the desk later. I wonder, does he still eat those same cookies as last time? Those were good cookies, though. Still don't know if they still sell those. It was like 20 years ago. But yeah, anyway, I think we're gonna continue with the start of the last case. Yay, gumshoe! Turnabout ablaze! We're about to reach the end, people! Let's see how far we can go. Turnabout ablaze. Ooh, good start. 2 cards. One of the Black Raven. And one of the White Raven. A country torn in 2. One to the west. And one to the east. When those which were split are made whole again. The truth will reveal itself. It's the Yatagarasu! The Yatagarasu's here! Oh my god! You accursed Yatagarasu! Kay, you... 8 hours earlier. Oh my god. Oh my gosh. Okay. This is just a moment we have to appreciate. It's one of his last moments of calm ever. It's one of the few moments of calm we see. Just enjoying some tea by himself. March 14, 10:17 a.m. High Prosecutor's Office, room 1202. It's so nice, almost dreamlike, to finally have the chance to relax and sip some tea. Especially after what the whirlwind the past few days have been. Yeah, I can imagine. Just, you were accused of murder on the plane. Then, a murder happened in the theme park of our worst nightmares with a hostage situation. And then a murder in our own office. Gotta say, they cleaned up the place really well. On my return flight, I was dragged into a case involving an Interpol agent's murder. The next day, I investigated a kidnapping and a murder at the Gatewater Land theme park. And later that night, a detective's dead body welcomed me back to my office. Along with a thief who was out to pilfer files related to a case from 10 years ago. Wait! Was you the one who put the gun in front of my... Oh my god. How did I manage to find myself in the middle of so many cases back to back? Well, now you know how right feels. Well, at least I have today. All I asked is that I be allowed to spend it quietly. Nope. Mr. Edgeworth! Ah! This is big! Big, I tell you! Hey, what's wrong with you? He's enjoying his quiet time. Wait,
your enthusiasm.
And suddenly the phrase, the fragility of dreams, comes to mind.
What are you talking about, fragile dreams? Come on, let's go. The fake Yatagarasu is going to just find herself, you know?
Well, if you must know, it's possible that I was paid a visit last night by your fake.
Say what?
Yeah, that was my thought as well. Fortunately for us, the thief managed to escape. But even now, we're still looking for this criminal. However, I must warn you that we've only had a few hours to search so far. So I must insist that you be patient on this one, Kay.
But what's with you today? Are you sure you aren't sleep talking to me right now? Anyway, I've got something much more important that I want you to see.
Oh, and that is?
Gimme. Take a look at this.
On March 14th, I will be there to steal your dirtiest secret. Oh, that's why she came today. It's quite a bold declaration to send to an embassy. I suppose it was inevitable that a newspaper would catch wind of this.
The date the court mentions is today.
Today, huh?
Come on, we gotta hurry! The embassy awaits!
I suppose it is quite an urgent matter. It is a trap. Edgeworth, it is a trap. However, do you know which country's embassy we should be investigating?
Well, it's some really special country, and I'm actually really fuzzy on the details. But never mind that, where's all your energy? Why are you so lackadaisical today?
He didn't have 7 hours of sleep, Kay. I'm not, Kay, you're just too wound up.
Well, then you should get too wound up too. Because this just might be our chance to catch that woman.
You mean Miss Yu? Yes, the woman who killed Kay's father, Burn Faraday, 7 years ago. And also another guy that we don't care about. My god, this woman is evil. Callisto Yu. She claimed to be the great thief Yatagarasu. And then she disappeared from the courtroom.
She makes me so mad! The phony! Everyone knows that the real Yatagarasu would never send something like a calling card. Until a company's underhanded dealings are made public, the target is always totally unaware that the Yatagarasu has paid them a visit. That's what makes the real Yatagarasu so awesome.
Yatagarasu's card that's shown in this article looks to me as though it could be genuine.
See, that's the thing. Whoever it is, that person is the real deal, but has knowledge of the Yatagarasu. If this isn't a clue that that woman's involved, then nothing is. Come on, Mr. Edgeworth, out the door you go.
Wait, there are a few preparations I must make before we go. Something interesting about this card we found last night here in my office. It's of a different color than the one in the article, which makes me wonder why.
What's up? Any reason why you're boring a hole through the newspaper with your eyes?
No, no reason at all. Very well, seeing as how Miss Yu is also someone of a special nature to me, I agree there is some merit to be found in investigating this.
I knew you'd come around.
Let's go. March 14, 5 p.m. Theatrum Neutralis.
By the light of this night's glorious moon.
We are ready!
What?
Ready to embark on our nightly outing. And this is where our tale begins.
What? What?
Of course, Edgeworth immediately comes over here like, huh, what a coincidence. Who would have thought that a Steel Samurai stage show would ever be held at such an elegant theater inside a foreign embassy?
Yeah, the climax was really awesome. Guys! Were you guys distracted by the freaking theater show? There's a freaking woman with a gun walking around here. Steel Samurai Sushi Slash! I got chills down my spine when he pulled that move out.
I suppose it really is more impactful to watch a show in person than on television.
I have to say though, this embassy is set up kind of funny. I mean, they have two countries sharing the same building.
Well, as you said yourself, this place and the countries it houses are very special. Even this theater is special in that it is a neutral zone shared by the two countries.
So let me get this straight. Steel Samurai show just now is being sponsored by one of the two countries. That one that's called the Kingdom of Albast, right? Albast.
Yes, it would appear that the Steel Samurai is very popular in that country as well.
Seems that way. But you know who I'm really into? That Jam and Ninja. The Republic of Babal is sponsoring a Jam and Ninja stage show. That's something for fangirls like me. We've totally got to see that too, Mr. Edgeworth.
The Jam and Ninja show is gonna kick the Steel Samurai show's rear end. You know, ever since I first met this girl, I've always had this inkling that what she really wants to be is not a thief, but rather a ninja.
I mean, true. So anyway, about today's event. What's it called again?
The Kingdom of Albast versus the Republic of Babal Goodwill Jubilee. The small European countries of the Kingdom of Albast and the Republic of Babal. These two countries used to be a single entity that was abundant with nature and was called the Principality of Codopia. Holy crap!
Is everything alright, Mr. Edgeworth?
Yes, I'm alright. Moving on.
He knows! He knows!
After a period of civil unrest, the country split in two, though signs of their past remain. For example, their flags preserve the flower and butterfly motifs to this day.
As well as the Yatagarasu's key!
Oh my god! Codopia is the center of the smuggling ring!
Why does no one see this?
Oh my god. Codopia, huh?
Yeah.
KG-8 incident, what was referred to as the second KG-8 incident, in which an embassy staff member was murdered. Both of these cases were related to the Principality of Codopia. In the 7 years that have passed, the country may have split into two. However, the Yatagarasu still sent a calling card here. What could it all mean?
Mr. Edgeworth, I know you're thinking about something.
Oh, excuse me. What were you talking about again?
If you could please stop spacing out on me. Anyway, we were talking about the Albast versus Babal Goodwill Jubilee. The two countries have had a pretty bad relationship with each other. But supposedly, they've been trying really hard to make up recently. That's why they decided to hold this event.
If that's the case, then why the versus?
Also, both countries claim to own the real Primadex statue. A national treasure to both. They're planning to have them publicly evaluated today to see which one's the real deal.
Oh my god, one of them is smuggled! Okay, need I remind you to take care and not succumb to your thieving desires?
Well, when it comes to treasure, I can help myself, you know that!
You better be saying that in jest.
Hey, I can read your body language, you know! You've got it all wrong. Look, I'm here to do some investigating. Investigating, I tell you!
I know. And although we don't know if the Yatagarasu will really make an appearance, I suppose we should still spend some time examining this place. What is worth examining?
No, Lana! Where in darnation are they? Come on, Big Scoop! Hey, mister, I don't know why. Yeah, I'm talking to you.
I seem to remember this woman from somewhere. If my instincts are directing me not to engage in conversation with her. Perhaps it would be best if I left her alone.
I love the cameos!
There's a flat panel, a tape deck, and a row steel samurai videos on this table. I suppose the visitors can watch an episode or two at their leisure.
Guess it really is just that popular, huh?
Yes, although I never thought I would see it reach this level of popularity.
I wonder why they decided to call on to the Steel Samurai for an event like this. I mean, it's like they intended to cut the two countries apart with the samurai sword instead.
Well, that will go against the whole point of this event. Can I enter? No. This is the perfect angle! Go, my image! Travel across the wave world and into every TV show across the globe! A more honest approach to appearing on TV might serve your ambitions better. man in the background.
And we're here, reporting live from the Theatre Neutralis. As you can see, tonight's audience is full of enthusiasm. Let's see what this member of the audience has to say.
Whoa,
Okay, that was good. Let's do one more run through.
Excuse me, but when you're ready to film for real, would you mind giving me a call? I sense that you didn't hear a single word I just said. Oh my god, Ashford wants to appear on TV.
You know, I've seen a lot of these shows, and the Today shows like went for a complete comedy, you know what I mean? Yeah, that last one, the Steel Samurai Sushi Slash, I couldn't help but laugh.
No, right? And the Pink Princess's movements were really stiff. In the middle of the show, I could swear that I heard her hip crack. Oh, I know, I totally saw that too. Pink Princess has a bad hip, seriously? Just what were they thinking, you know?
Suppose there's no graceful way to enter this conversation. There are pamphlets about the 2 embassies here on this table.
A wall! They literally just put up a wall between the 2 buildings! It goes across the building!
It still looks weird to me. Country split into 2 a few years back. And they've shared the building on its grounds 50-50 ever since. Oh, I guess because they don't have the money to build 2 separate ones, huh?
I should think that's not the reason why, Kay. Suppose I'll just help myself to one of these.
What is all the hubbub?
Ah!
Hey, look! It's the Steel Samurai! And he's got his son, the Iron Infant, with him!
Oh my god! Edgeworth is having a fangirl moment. Immediately talk to him! I'm your biggest fan!
May I speak with you for a second?
It's the Steel Samurai.
Mr. Edgeworth, what are you glaring at him for?
Please excuse me. It's just that I've never seen a superhero up close before.
You're such a fanboy!
To Mr. Edgeworth, Steel Samurai Daddy, worried man of Neo-Old Tokyo. What? What?
Looks like he's written something down for you.
To Edgeworth, from Steel Samurai Daddy, married man of Neo-Old Tokyo.
Wow, an autograph! Pretty cool that you got one, huh, Mr. Edgeworth?
He's so full of pride! That's so adorable. Mr. Steel Samurai, Ambassador Alba is waiting for you.
Now the Steel Samurai proceed to enter the kingdom of Albas to shake the hand of the ambassador. The Steel Samurai isn't only here for the 2 countries tonight, but rather can be thought of as goodwill ambassador from our country as well.
There he goes, off to spread goodwill to the world.
He really does seem like a goodwill ambassador, doesn't he?
Okay, we're shooting the next segment now. Cue camera.
In just a few seconds, the Jammin Ninja stage show is set to begin. After the show, the Jammin Ninja will enter the Republic of Babal. He is set to meet with the ambassador of Babal at that time.
Ah, the Jammin Ninja show is about to start! We've got to get back to our seats!
Regrettably, I don't have much of an interest in ninjas.
Well, this show will change your mind. Come on, we have to hurry! If you miss even a second of the Jammin Ninja while I'm playing, I'll never forgive you!
Ugh. Suppose you're not about to give me much of a choice here, are you, Kay?
Let's go!
I could listen to that Ninja Mike's best lullaby song all day! His superb playing and that sad melody really brought a tear to my eye. And his heart-wrenching voice, now that's the Jammin Ninja's greatest weapon. Those pieces of Jammin Ninja merchandise over there! I've got to get them! Especially when the hair sticks they're selling exclusively at these shows. They're exactly like the ones the heroine, Princess Mizola, wears in her hair.
Anyway.
Anyway! Hold it right there, Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes?
Just thinking of going home, aren't you?
Well, it doesn't seem likely that the Yatakarasu will be making an appearance tonight. Most likely, it was simply a prank.
No way! I just know the Yatakarasu will show.
Oh? But I thought you said that the Yatagarasu doesn't send calling cards.
Yeah, I did, but...
I figured from the very beginning that this would wind up being a wild goose chase.
But that card you said was a genuine fake calling card.
A genuine fake.
Oh, how can I word this? The Yatagarasu's mark that's on the calling card is exactly the same as my mark. Get it now?
We've got a problem!
And another murder!
4 murders in 3 days! No! No! 4 murders in 2 days! Ah! What the frick? Even normal Phoenix Wright games don't have that much death in so little amount of time. Run! The Yatagarasu has been spotted in Albast. At this rate, it will turn into a Scandinavian mystery novel. Are they that famous for having that many murders in a day? What?
You heard that, Mr. Edgeworth? Ha! So you finally decided to show yourself, you phony! Hey, what gives?
I'm sorry, but I will need to search you before you may enter.
What the? Hey, it feels someone just walked straight through without one. Now, if you don't hurry up and let me through, my phone is going to escape.
It's an entire genre. It's called the Nordic Noir. Oh my god. I will have to look that up. Okay, a country's embassy is considered to be a part of the country itself. If you don't go through the proper procedures to enter the country...
Mr. Ashworth! I'm going to enter through a ball and climb up the wall into Albast!
Hold it!
You will tell a prosecutor straight out that you intend to illegally enter another... Okay, are you listening to me? No.
Game Faraday, I'm coming through!
Yes, and welcome. Someone stop her, anyone! Oh my god. Okay. Wow, Edgeworth, don't have a lot of stamina there, huh? You really need to work out. Hey, where are you? Don't tell me you really did find some way over this fence. Oh god, what is that? Fire! This is too big for us to handle! Looks like the Yatagarasu came to the ball too! You accursed Yatagarasu. Okay, you better be alright wherever you are.
Oh, no, 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 no. Please be alright.
What the frick? What? What is Sheena doing here? A gumshoe deal? What? The Bobblese Embassy. There's a man on the floor.
I told you it wasn't me!
Sheena.
Hold
it! Well, at least they won't be cold. Wing in! This is a... Oh my god. Okay, are you alright?
Do I look alright to you? Now can you do something about this woman?
Mr. Edgeworth! Detective Gumshoe, what is the meaning of this? Well, sir, it's, this. There's a dead...
It wasn't me! He was already dead when I ran in here! Hot on the heels of the fake Yatagarasu! Look, I only came in here because I saw a suspicious person at the open-air stage.
A suspicious person?
A long black coat and a hood over the head. I dare you to tell me that's not suspicious. When I saw that person, I immediately thought that they must be the fake Yatagarasu. So I chased after them into the embassy. Then it's here, and then lost sight of them. But I just know that person is the one who did it.
What are you so worked up over? There's no reason for you to be this loud.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but your agent-like secretary, Sheena, I believe your name is correct. Yeah, what are you doing here? And if you are making an arrest, I assume you have evidence that it was Kay who committed the crime. Is that also correct? You refuse to answer.
I don't need to answer. You are merely a prosecutor in this country, meaning you have no investigative authority.
Yeah, hey, pal! What the heck does what you just said mean? If it happened here, it's under Mr. Edgeworth's jurisdiction. The end. And seeing how this building is sitting on our soil, we can investigate wherever we'd like.
Fortunately, Detective, embassies are a different matter.
Uh-oh. Huh?
This office is considered to be a part of the Republic of Babal, which means that anything that happens in here defaults to the control of the Babalese government and Babalese law, giving them exclusive extraterritorial rights.
Extraterrestrial rights? Sir, do you really believe that the truth is out there?
Basically, our country's laws don't apply inside the embassy of another country. That's what was agreed to by our respective governments. Our authority to investigate was effectively nullified the second we entered this place, which means we can do little here in this situation.
No way, sir!
Please leave this matter in Interpol's hands and go home.
Mr. Edgeworth!
Hey, you're not Mr. Edgeworth!
Hold it. In that case, allow me to join your investigation.
Yay! Miss Von Karma!
Ah! The moment Gumshoe's inner sight is whipped. But we can do one thing, we can blame it on Edgeworth again. Ambassador Polino, I truly appreciate you allowing me to join the investigation. It's really nothing. Maddie was my secretariat, so of course I want to help you as much as I can. In fact, it's a blessing that Interpol agents were able to make it so quickly.
Francisca.
Well, I never imagined that I'd meet you here of all places. This is an embassy, meaning that you have no authority to conduct.
Hold it!
Already? What is it?
Ambassador Polino.
Here you are.
I'm Miles Edgeworth, public prosecutor. I ask that you please allow me to investigate this case as Miss Von Karma's assistant.
Oh my god, you sneaky bee! Assistant? Miles, what the heck do you think you're...
Please, I implore you, Ambassador Polino.
Very well. I'll be counting on the two of you, Miss Von Karma and Mr. Edgeworth. What did you mean by you'll be Miss Von Karma's assistant?
I don't exactly have a choice, do I, Detective? If I don't welcome Francisca's assistant...
If I don't become Francisca's assistant,
I can't participate in this investigation.
I'm misspeaking a lot today. It's really irritating me. I really just have a tendency to read too fast. There you go again, running at the mouth with that aloof expression on your face.
Francisca, please.
I don't know what you're planning quite yet. But at least I do know one thing. That you are now my subordinate. Oh, she's gonna rub this in our faces for the entire investigation. Just remember that my whip is always ready to wake you should you have a brain lapse.
Of course, I'll keep that in mind. If you are done playing games.
Right, let's begin the investigation.
By the way, Detective, I suppose it's a bit late to be asking, but why are you here?
Well, better late than never, I guess, sir. I was placed on guard duty for the Babalese embassy today.
And why are police guarding an embassy?
Well, on account of the card they got from the Yatagarasu. They called us up and asked us for our help, sir. Oh, and because we've been searching for the Yatagarasu these past 7 years. It was a more or less mutually beneficial arrangement, if you ask me.
Except for how mutually unbeneficial this has all turned out to be, I suppose.
Looks like you failed to completely perform your guard duty yet again. Ah!
Look forward to an accelerated negotiation. Although, it's out of my hands.
But sir, if it gets cut anymore, I won't be able to buy even instant noodles anymore.
Poor Gumshoe.
Okay, first the body.
So our victim was the secretariat of this embassy, I take it.
Manny Koshin, I heard that he was an admirable person.
Very admirable.
Manny Koshin. You know, the guy that was that Manny Koshin.
Cause of death is a stab to the base of his neck. He was lax in washing his back. We were fortunate that the fire missed our victim's body for the most part. If the fire had burned a bit longer, it would have made identifying him a hassle. So Mr. Kochi was stabbed to death in the middle of a raging fire. What in the world happened inside this room? Okay. Well, there are two things. The key and the knife. There appears to be something in his pocket. This key. It can't be. Isn't that the Yatagarasu's key that was stolen 7 years ago? What? But that's... Huh? 7 years ago? Go! You mean the case of where I was framed, sir? Yes, it's a piece of evidence that stole the life of Kei's father 7 years ago. Which was then stolen by Killer Soyu. What? Mr. Faraday was killed with his key, sir. I thought he was killed with a knife. Oh my gosh. Scruffy! At the very least, try to remember the details of crimes you were a suspect in. Francisca, as you will recall, Detective Gumshoe was not present when Miss Yu made her escape. Plus, even among law enforcement, only a few knew of this key's existence. I doubt that the new rookie at the time would have been made privy to such knowledge. Oh, I feel like the victim right now. All trampled on, sir. I suppose I'll just have to fill you in now. The secret to this key is... this. Boop. That took a while. Oh, wow! That's amazing, sir! It's like some kind of magic trick! It's also a knife. I knew it. This is the same exact piece of evidence Miss Yu took with her. I remember this beautiful pattern in the blade. I remember this as well. It's a vine motif, isn't it? Yes, it looks like two interwoven vines crisscrossing down the blade. Vines, sirs? I think it looks like a bunch of stairs, if you ask me. Stairs? What? One of those six-sided stairs, like the people mark in RRDs. I really don't think you can call these stars. Oh, stars, not stairs! Oh my gosh, me? Am I just not informed today? Jesus. It's good that I have a day off tomorrow because, my god, I'm more sleep deprived than I think. To say that the detective's art sense is underdeveloped would be an understatement. The real question is why the Bubbly's Embassy's secretariat holding this? Well, I don't know how Mr. Koshin came to possess this key. We do know that this was stolen by the Yatagarasu from the Kodopian Embassy. That's right, Mr. Faraday had written that fact down in his organizer. I believe this means that further research is required into the country of Kodopia. Why don't you ask Ambassador Polino about what he knows? Supposedly, he was a candidate to be the next Kodopian ambassador once long ago. He should be able to answer any specific questions you may have. Okay. Is this knife the murder weapon? Some preliminary testing has been conducted. According to the results, the blood on that matches the victim's blood. The blade shape was also found to be condensed. I am not informed. What is happening to me? Jesus. Okay. Maybe I'm just... Nah, I'll be fine. The blade shape was also found to be consistent with the stab wound. I suppose this means that we now know that the crime was committed with this knife. This knife's got some really fancy ornamentation going on, huh, sir? This is practically screams artsy at me, too. Although, it's also covered in blood. Just like the last thing that I said was artsy. But the handle is pristine. There's not a single drop of blood on it. Speaking of the handle, I believe it has a butterfly motif. It's very beautiful. Okay. It's a knife wound. It's obvious that's what he was killed with, but I wonder if it's consistent with the wound. Indeed. This man, where do I know him from? You finally just recognize him? Sheesh. Wait, what? You don't recognize him yet? Jesus, Miles. Is that everything? I think that was everything. Yeah, that was everything. Yeah, we're done with the body. What is this statue? Because this is a national treasure, can I ask that you please not touch it? I'm afraid the only ones allowed to touch it are myself and the Secretariat.
Hold it!
But there's a possibility that it's related to the murder, wouldn't you agree? Hey, Miss Edgeworth, why don't we give up for now? We can force it to let us investigate it later when we find some solid proof. I suppose I don't have a choice here. This must be one of the Primaduck statues Kay was talking about earlier.
It looks like the Steel Samurai if you look at it weirdly enough.
It's just me or does this man look just like the Steel Samurai? They could be twins.
I saw this in the background. Miss Edgeworth, there's something on this display rack, sir.
Nice, huh?
Although the blades are all that remain of them, unfortunately. Guess the handles all got burned off by the fire. Ah, so even knives fell victim to the fire.
Ambassador Polino, are these knives yours?
Why, yes, they are. They are a special set of ornamental knives featuring the national symbol of Babal. These butterfly-themed knives, along with Alba's own set of knives, are comprised of 3 knives each. But I can't believe the Babalese ones have been reduced to this state.
Ornamental knives, huh? The small release on the tang of this blade. Ambassador Polino, what is this notch here for?
Oh, that! It's a feature of the knives where you can freely exchange the handles on them. So that we can change how they look to fit the situation, of course.
I see. So these knives were constructed so that the handles could be easily removed. Huh, interesting. These shelves are lined with American souvenirs and memorabilia.
It's really strange, isn't it? I mean, I thought this was the Babalese embassy.
So, why are there so many American souvenirs, sir? Perhaps the Babalese are studying American culture and our tourism industry. If they have plans to make the Babalese tourism industry truly flourish, then they would need to observe and study other countries' messes, I suppose.
Speaking of tourism, I got these from the blonde guy earlier, sir. He said that I'd bring these with me to the ball. I can trade them in for a few buffets.
Oh, so how do you expect to travel to Babal?
Well, the whole world is connected by the ocean, sir. And for an all-you-can-eat buffet, I'd swim all the way to Babal if I have to.
And a few simple coupons really motivate people to do such fantastic things.
A clock. Why isn't this burned by the fire?
Looks like this was once a magnificent grandfather clock, but it has fallen victim to the fire.
It doesn't look damaged. Hey, Miss Ashford, is it okay for me to talk about the clocks in my house, sir?
If they're unrelated to the case, I hope that you will refrain from sharing, but...
Well, there's this one clock that I made by myself, but the timer on it is...
That's quite enough, detective. There's still some burnt objects scattered on the floor.
Well, burnt things get burnt, and then they become burnt things, you know?
No, because there's no way to prove that the burnt thing started out as a burnt thing.
Was it a burnt thing or was not? I have no idea what's that anymore. What's what anymore, sir?
Yes, I suppose it's a bit hard for someone with a burned out light bulb to comprehend.
Edgeworth, sheesh!
I can't believe that many fell among thieves tonight. Without him, I have no idea what my schedule for tonight is. Ambassador Polino, I believe your schedule tonight will consist of listening to reports from the police. That and only that. I asked you to cooperate not only for your own sake, but for Mr. Coach's as well.
You're a rather strong man, aren't you? How fascinating. Here, I know it isn't much, but I'd like you to have these. Oh my gosh, the coupons. I'm sorry, but it would be against my principles to accept the bribe. Oh, no. These are simply coupons we distribute to promote Babal. Remember, we offer a large number of discounts and offers when you visit lovely Babal.
Now I remember, the Republic of Babal is known for its feverish tourism industry. I was wondering if you might tell me a bit about the deceased Manny Cochin.
He was my secretary in the embassy secretariat charged with running the whole place. He was an admirable man. His death is a great loss to our country. He was in charge of everything. Counting, printing, taking care of our national treasures.
I'm sorry, but did you say printing?
The country's primary source of revenue is our tourism industry. So, in order for us to print the necessary pamphlets, flyers, coupons, etc., we have a printing press here at our embassy.
I see. Please excuse my forwardness. However, I feel I should mention that I have the distinct impression that I've met him before.
Oh, yes. Since you are of the legal profession, I suppose you just might have. After all, Manny was involved in the KG8 incident. The KG8 incident! The defendant who was found innocent in that case was Manny. So your Mr. Kochin is the same man as the one in that case. It's been 10 years. Manny recovered personally from that case and dove enthusiastically into this job. He was the one who planned this event and was to oversee this embassy's renovations. It really is a shame. He had such a bright future ahead of him. What exactly did you mean earlier by renovations? We can't have tourists and visitors to our embassy think we're a poor nation, can we? So renovating the embassy is something of an investment. We may have a rather paltry budget, but we're trying our best to make do. However, I guess the only person who could have helped us do our best is now no longer with us. Ambassador Polino, I was wondering if I may ask you about Kodopia. Kodopia? Alright, what would you like to talk about? First, I'd like to ask you about this key. What about this key? I found it sticking out of Mr. Kochin's pocket. Since today's International Talk Like a Pirate Day, I have a question for you. What did the pirate say when he was turned 80 years old? Ah, my back! Hi, matey! I thought mine was a lot more funny. Arr, my back. I found it sticking out of Mr. Kochin's pocket. I believe it originally belonged to this embassy. Is that correct? Upon closer inspection, it seems that this key is shaped like a butterfly. That's not all about this key. It's also capable of changing into a knife. Oh, how fascinating! Is it possible that the ambassador didn't know about the existence of this key? In its knife form, there's a flower mark at the base of the blade. I guess this knife might be from when we used to be a part of Kodopia.
Hold it!
And how did you come to that conclusion? It has both Kodopia's national symbols, the butterfly and the flower. I suppose Manny used this key here at the embassy back when we were still Kodopia. Ambassador Polino, this key was stolen from the Kodopian embassy 7 years ago. By Callisto Yu, otherwise known as the Great Thief Yatagarasu. Oh, really? You were not aware that Miss Yu had broken into this embassy at the time? I'm sorry, I can't be of much help. I'm not very familiar with the details, you see. Well, he became the ambassador after Babal became his own independent nation. But if Manny was still alive, he would probably know about what happened back then. I got one more. What's a pirate's favorite letter? The R. The letter R. R. A writ of safe passage from King Charles II. What? 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 What does that mean? I don't get the joke. If that was part of the same show. Oh, a What am I doing with my life? Ah! Why? I mean, yeah, a letter of safe passage from King Charles II would be a pirate's favorite letter. Oh, that's so dumb. Mr. Kochin and Miss Yu knew each other 7 years ago. But that doesn't explain why I found the Yatagarasu's key here in the presence. Classic anti-joke. I love those. A safe. Small personal safe. This is Mr. Kochin's office, so perhaps he stored his most important documents in here. Ah, of course it's locked. It appears we won't be able to open it without the key. Without the key? I'm gonna be safe and not do it yet, but it's so obvious. Okay, are you alright?
You believe me, don't you, Mr. Edgeworth? You don't think I did it, right?
Yes, of course I don't, and I promise to prove it that it was you.
That's enough chit-chat. You can investigate all you like, but it's only a matter of time before we take her in. It would be wise of you to give up while you can.
No, I don't think so. Kay isn't lying, and my investigation will prove that to be true. Go ahead and try then, if you're that confident.
I can't allow this to continue on this way. I must prove her innocent post haste.
Miles Edgeworth!
What is it?
Let me tell you something. You are currently my subordinate. And if you wish to convince everyone else of that, you will speak to me with respect.
She's loving this.
What's with the giddy glint in her eye?
I don't think that will really be necessary, Francisca.
Oh, really? Well, it doesn't matter. It doesn't change the fact that you are still under me.
I thought Francisca was flying around the world in pursuit of the smuggling case. So then why is she here at this embassy?
I was investigating at the Albastian embassy when I got wind of this mess.
Ah, that's right. The Yatagarasu was due to appear at the embassy as well.
Yes, but the difference is that we don't have a fire over there. Although there was an incident at the Albastian embassy as well. Well, I left Agent Lang in charge of that case and came over to the Babalese embassy.
Ah, so Agent Lang is here as well, huh?
I see you've met. Well, he's in the Albastian embassy acting as bodyguard for Ambassador Alba. However, he seems to have a different reason for being there. So the suspect in the murder that occurred in this office is that little girl I see. Is she perhaps trying to be the Yatagarasu?
Kay would never harm a soul, sir!
Kay.
You remember, do you not? About the case we investigated together 7 years ago. That girl is the daughter of the victim in that case, Mr. Faraday.
So she's that feisty little girl.
Kay has been on the trail of the Yatagarasu, which is how she ended up here. Looking for the one who took her father's life.
I see.
Kay's trying so hard, but you know what? The Yatagarasu keeps on tricking us all.
How so?
The Yatagarasu sent a card saying, I will be there to steal your dirtiest secrets. But all we've had is an arson and a murder. The lab boys are going in circles. You know what this is, sirs? It's a breach of contract. It's going to be on the rap sheet.
If you ask me, I'm perfectly fine with that fact that nothing was stolen tonight.
I do wonder, though, is Callisto you really is the Yatagarasu?
Is there something I can connect?
I'm gonna connect these and see if it works. Probably not.
It works!
We know for a fact that the Yatagarasu's key was used at this embassy. Furthermore, we found it on the victim, Mr. Kochin's pocket.
Sometimes the most obvious part is just the most obvious thing.
Basic logic, which leads me to think that perhaps it is the key to the personal safe in this office.
Good thinking, sir. Let's go try it out.
It appears I was correct. The key that was left was in the victim's pocket. It literally turned out to be the key to the next piece of the truth. What do we have here?
Hey, there's nothing inside! Do you think the Yatagarasu made off with everything, sir?
No, Detective. I believe all we need is a closer look.
Yeah, there's a secret compartment.
What is this here?
It looks like the ripped corner of a piece of paper, sir.
No, I don't think it's ripped. It seems more to me like it's stuck in the safe.
Hey, you're right! It won't budge an inch! Don't even want to tug on it. And I don't think I've ever seen paper stuck on the inside of a safe before.
Detective, I think you have it backwards. It's not the paper that's strange. It's the safe.
What do you mean?
What I mean is that the secret to this safe is that it has 2 compartments. Even just eyeballing it, you can see that the inside is a bit too shallow. Furthermore, with the unnatural way the paper is stuck at the back of the safe, I'd say that there's an extra bit of space behind the back wall of the safe. In other words, this safe has a second compartment.
What?
I suppose that you are correct in asserting that the paper is stuck in an unnatural manner. However, if what you say is correct, then there is a second compartment. How do we go about opening the door to it then?
As you can see, there's no other lock or keyhole in sight.
Actually, there is one more spot of interest to me on this safe.
Oh?
Yes, and I believe that spot is a keyhole to our mystery second lock.
The safe and its locks. Right then, since you're so sure of yourself, show me how you deduce your answer. The deuce, huh? This looks like a keyhole.
Eureka!
Eureka! Doesn't the shape of this keyhole remind you of something, Francisca? The shape? It does look very familiar. However, I believe it's simply a latch hole for the safe's lock mechanism. It's just for keeping the door shut, nothing more.
Hold it!
No. Is that so? The person who used the safe, Mr. Cochin, made sure the safe had 2 compartments in order to hide something. Do you honestly think someone like that would allow the keyhole to the hidden half? It looks so obviously like a keyhole that even the average person could figure it out. You can't be serious! Are you saying that this hole is the keyhole to the hidden compartment of the safe? That's precisely what I'm saying. And I will prove to you right now that the Yatagarasu's key is the key that will open it.
Objection!
The Yatagarasu's key? Miles Edgeworth, this has better be a very bad joke. Sorry, but this is no joke. The Yatagarasu's key is the very key that will open the second compartment to the safe. We know that this key opens the first compartment of the safe, but the keyhole you're talking about is of an entirely different shape than that of the key. We discovered this trick 7 years ago, and whether we were able to call him as you, would have thought that I'd see this key again after all this time. Oh! The knife! Let's go over this again, shall we? The Yatagarasu's key was originally made to open Mr. Kochi's safe in the Kodopian embassy. We confirmed it as fact by opening the door to his safe with it. Now let's take a look at the back of this key. Looking at the knife portion head on, what do you see? What are you talking? It appears that you've come to understand what I'm talking about. When I viewed head on, the knife's blade is the exact same shape as a keyhole. The real function of the knife portion is to act as the key to the hidden portion of the safe. But that's preposterous! Because it looks like a knife and was used like one to kill Mr. Faraday 7 years ago. We fell under the misconception that it was always meant to be a knife. But for both the safe and its key to conceal such clever tricks, whatever is hidden inside the secret section must be of incredible importance. Then, it's even possible that what I've been searching for is inside. Scruffy, hurry up and open that safe! Yeah! Yes, sir! Opening it now, sir! Oh! These items, it's a bunch of funny shaped things. I guess they're pieces of art. You're in the way! Now move, Scruffy! I didn't think I was in the way. These pieces of art, they're identical to the ones that have been stolen from various countries around the world. I figured as much. These are the treasures this section of the safe was to hide from view. I believe a more thorough examination is required. This is a document that we thought was stuck earlier. I wonder what it's about. Beats me, sirs. Why don't we take a look at it first before we give up, detective? Mr. Coach's name is written here on the latch's page. I wonder what the significance of this document is. There are pieces of stolen art from around the world. I wonder how much they're worth, especially this one. Ah! Scruffy, don't touch those valuable pieces of art with your filthy hands! Why, do you have any idea what would happen to you if one of them were to break? It's just me, or did she hit one of those pieces of art just now? Here's that we found the key that the Yatagarasu, Mel Miss Yu, stole 7 years ago. This was originally from this embassy. Maybe she came back to return it. I don't think she's has time to be so kind as to do such a thing, detective. Okay then, what do you think, sir? Callisto Yu. For what reason did she steal the key? What am I missing? To build this sort of trick into one safe is really something. Yeah, it's neat that this safe has 2 compartments, but what's really impressive is that the other end of the key was another key. I totally hadn't noticed. I wonder if Mr. Kochin was just paranoid or if he had secrets of that creative value. Speaking of paranoid, I once sharpened both ends of my pencil, but then when I went to erase something, I got all paranoid I was going to stab myself. Please refrain from dispensing your special brand of unrelated stories while on duty. Yes, sir. That's it.
Hey, it's another butterfly! I believe it's a symbol of the Republic of Babal. Ah! A drawing this big on the wall of an embassy definitely conveys a sense of overwhelming patriotism. Well, I've got a lot of patriotism too, sirs. The reason I became a cop in the first place was because I wanted to protect our country. You may want to, detective. However, I've yet to see the fruits of your desire. You don't have to be so blunt about it, sir. What are we missing? I mean, this is logical, right? Please? There we go. The design on the knife's handle greatly resembles a special bobbly species of butterfly. It does, doesn't it? Plus it says right here, this knife is property of the Republic of Babal. Perhaps this means that the knife used in the crime was found right in this room. Ah! This one too. Yeah! To steal your dirtiest secret. Is it possible that the dirty secret the Yatagarasu was out to steal is in this very room? Dirty secret? Franziska, you're in pursuit of some dirty underhanded dealings yourself, are you not? Something tells me that this is no coincidence. In that case then, the person I'm looking for is here in the Bobbly's embassy, huh? The head of the smuggling operation. I think I just might need to ask Franziska about her smuggling case in more depth. Yay, a lead! Franziska, when we last talked, you said that you were on the trail of a smuggling ring. I suppose the reason you are here right now is related to that. Yes. After analyzing the intel we've gathered from various countries, this embassy rose to the top of our list of sites to investigate. And this is what tipped us off. This accounting document. It's only one page of the whole thing, so we're not sure about all the details. However, it's enough for us to grab onto the tail of the beast. For you see, this type of paper was made only in the Principality of Godopia. Which means that somewhere in the countries of Albas and Babal is the head. The one pulling the strings behind the entire smuggling ring. That's Franziska for you. She's amazing. Pursuing this case with all she has. Can I investigate this again? Yes, this!
Eureka!
Yes! Take a good look at these documents, Franziska. It says that there are 3 pages in total, and yet there are only 2 here. Correct. Now take a look at the smuggling activity document in your possession. Ah! Tell me, is it not possible that your page was taken from this set of 3? Well, well, it certainly looks that way. By putting our multi-part puzzle together, we seem to have arrived at an answer. And it seems that you have now found what you were looking for. Yes, and with this has become crystal clear that Mr. Kojin himself was responsible for the mass smuggling of Bobbly's ink. Bobbly's ink? Bobbly's ink is a special product of the Republic of Babal. However, due to a special reason, only a limited volume is ever exported. And that reason is... that's classified. It's on a need-to-know basis, and you don't need to know. In any case, it seems that the head of the smuggling ring was our victim, Mr. Manny Kochin. His base was in an embassy, thus it was hard for both our country and his to interfere, making it the ideal conditions under which to run a smuggling operation. That's totally frustrating. I lost the person I was to wring judgment down upon with my whip of justice. Well, even if he is dead, I still have a responsibility to look into his misdeeds. You expect me to whip a dead man? Well, I'm not interested. Franziska, you must know that Manny Kochin was the suspect in the KG-8 incident. Of course I know. But of being the head of the smuggling ring, there is the matter of what really happened in that case that needs to be resolved. Investigation complete. Okay. Who do we need to fight?
Are you done investigating?
Yes. Okay. Let's fight.
You realize now, don't you, that this girl is the only one it could be? Now come along quietly, Yatagarasu. Kay Faraday. You are under arrest for the murder of Manny Kochin.
Mr. Edgeworth! Please, you have to believe me, I didn't do it! I chased the fake Yatagarasu in here! And he was already...
You have the right to remain silent. Anything you say can and will be used against you.
Hold it!
I'd like to help you reduce the number of mistaken arrests Interpol makes.
What is that supposed to mean?
I believe I told you that Kay Faraday is not the culprit of this crime.
Very well. I suppose I have no choice. I'll show you just how foolish your claims are.
Okay. Why arrest Kay?
Vtuber police confirmed that the Yatagarasu infiltrated the Japanese embassy tonight. Utilizing the confusion caused by the fire, the Yatagarasu snuck into this embassy. Furthermore, this girl claims to be the Yatagarasu, and most importantly, other than her, there was no one else in here with the body.
Your reason for suspecting Kay is because you think she is the Yatagarasu.
Exactly. But it isn't just me. She calls herself the Yatagarasu.
Look, how many times do I have to tell you? I was only out to catch the fake Yatagarasu.
Imposter or not, it matters not. Yatagarasu is a Yatagarasu.
Very well. Then I shall prove that Kay is not the Yatagarasu who killed Mr. Manny Kochin.
Go ahead and try. Show me what the prosecutors of the country are made of.
Okay. What is that noise? Oh well. Okay.
Hold it!
They may have confirmed it, but are you telling me that no one could catch the thief? If you're basically admitting that the Yatagarasu that committed murder eluded us.
Of course, I chased after the Yatagarasu that entered the Japanese embassy right away. And that is also why I'm making this arrest right now.
That's just the judge eating Swiss rolls from the secret stash under the desk. Nothing to worry about. I mean, yeah, that's true. Ugh.
In any case, this is what I believe happened tonight.
Hold it!
Just because she calls herself that, it doesn't prove that she is a killer.
No, but it does give her a motive. Yatagarasu sent a card saying, I will be there to steal your dirtiest secrets. Furthermore, there are documents pertaining to some smuggling activity in this room. She obviously wanted to steal them. So she killed Mr. Kochin for the key.
I see. The logic is very sound. I expected nothing less of Agent Lang's secretary. However, that statement just now didn't sound right. It may just be the opening I need. Wait. What? Let me just... pressing the wrong button again. Yeah, Kay doesn't know about this knife.
Objection!
Yes! Agent Sheena, I regret to inform you, but there is a flaw in your logic.
Oh?
Even if you claim that she is the killer and the Yatagarasu, I am certain that securing the smuggling documents is not the motive behind the murder. The key to the safe in this room was found on Mr. Kochin's body. Furthermore, the Yatagarasu would not be so stupid as to leave without the documents. What was that smile? By the simple fact that the documents were still in the safe when we looked. It's obvious that the killer's target was not the safe at all.
Then perhaps you didn't know that Mr. Kochin had the key on him.
Objection!
No. If that's the case, then why would she have needed to kill him? Because I can't think of no reason for her to kill him if she had not known that fact.
Need. Reason. All of this is simply our conjecturing after the fact. It's entirely possible that she accidentally killed him when she was sneaking in. Perhaps she didn't notice the safe second compartment before returning the key. But the fact still remains that Mr. Kochin was stabbed to death.
Objection!
But you have no definitive proof that it was Kay who committed the act.
Actually, I do. I saw her holding the knife she used on the victim with my own eyes.
What?
Allow me to tell you a bit more about the evidence that will put her away behind bars.
Okay, bring it on.
The knife wound on her body is consistent with the blade of the knife. The knife with the butterfly handle is a murder weapon, which the killer was holding.
Wait. What? If the killer was... But there's no blood on this knife! There's no blood on the handle of this knife.
I assume she obtained the knife from the display rack and used it on the victim. The knife is a part of a special 3-piece set, which has a design like no other. The evidence and testimony, it all points to the girl. There is no counter-argument.
If that's the case, why is there no blood on her hands? That is your definitive evidence?
You see now that she's definitely the killer, right?
No, Mr. Edgeworth, you gotta believe me! I saw a suspicious figure in a long black coat outside the embassy, I swear!
You came in here because you were chasing this suspicious person.
That's right, I ran into this office only because I was chasing after that person. But when I entered that room, it was pitch black. I couldn't see a thing. I felt something on the ground next to my foot, so I turned on the lights, but then... Ah!
Who's there?
This is... I came to this room upon hearing the girl scream. And when I saw her holding a knife, I immediately restrained her.
So the object Kay felt by her feet on the floor was the murder weapon.
I had the knife analyzed right away, but we failed to find anyone's prints on it.
But the suspicious person in the black coat who came into this room before me!
You continue to insist there was such a person. But if there was, where did they go?
I don't know, but I know they came in here!
That sounds like that desperate excuses of a suspected killer. Not a trustworthy testimony. You understand, don't you? You can't trust this girl's words, Mr. Edgeworth.
She has a point. Even if Kay's words are the truth, I must show that they are with some solid... some solid evidence. Mr. Edgeworth, I really didn't...
Okay. Don't worry. If you didn't do it, then there must exist a way for me to prove that.
Still not giving up, I see. In that case, try to counter my argument if you can.
Don't worry, I can, and I will. Well, I think I know the answer already. But there were no fingerprints on the weapon. I guess so people can change them whenever they feel like it. Sounds like fun, sir. I don't think people would remove the handle just for fun, detective.
Objection!
Yeah, it's suspicious that the handle has no blood on it. Meaning that the handle wasn't used during the murder. The killer hid their fingerprints under it. So the murder weapon was a knife with a butterfly design on it.
But is that really the truth? What are you getting at?
I'd like for you to take a look at this. There is blood on the blade, and yet there's not a speck of blood on the handle. Significance at the time of the crime, a different handle was attached to this blade. The knife that Cave was holding had its handle switched and was in fact not the real murder weapon.
It wasn't the real murder weapon.
This knife can be taken apart. Shall we give it a go? As you can see, the Bobbly's knife now has been disassembled into 2 parts. The killer must have pulled the murder weapon out of the victim's body and proceeded to swap the knife's original handle with this butterfly one. It was all to create the illusion that Mr. Cochin was killed with the butterfly-themed knife. Ah! Ow.
This should clear up any of those suspicions surrounding Kay.
Your argument isn't airtight yet.
How so?
It's possible that the girl herself is the one who switched the handles.
Hold it!
Don't be ridiculous. For what purpose would you do such a thing?
I don't care to know how a criminal thinks. The way they view the world is beyond the comprehension of a normal person. Like myself. Therefore, I wouldn't put anything past them, no matter how odd it may seem.
Objection!
Huh.
The truth is right there in front of you, and this knife will show you the way. You will come to see that Kay is not and could not have been Coach's killer. Flower. What is this mark on here? It's the mark of a flower. I assume you know what this means. No, not really. Butterflies rest on flowers all the time to drink their sweet nectar. And so they do. However, would this butterfly really drink the nectar of this flower? The answer is clearly not a chance. Now to prove the relationship between the butterfly and the flower with this. Alright.
Take that!
They're conflicting nations. You can't be serious. It appears that you've made the connection. The flower on this blade is designed after a certain country's national symbol. That's right, the Kingdom of Albast. In other words, this blade is from one of Albast's ornamental knives. This part of the knife handle has Babal's national symbol of the butterfly on it. Therefore, it is undeniably Babalese in origin. But as we both know, you can't kill someone with just a knife handle. Incidentally, when exactly did the murder occur again, Agent Sheena? After the fire had broken out. That's right, Kay entered the Babalese embassy after the fire had taken place. Furthermore, she had not been to the Albastian side of the World League before then. On top of that, not a single person passed between the two countries during the fire. Which means that Kay could not have transported an Albastian object over here. This makes it impossible for her to be the true killer. Bingo! Woo! Way to go, Mr. Edgeworth, sir! What a great victory! Huh? Hey, why is everyone so quiet? I haven't got this far and cleared Kay's name. But what worries me now is what will happen next.
Objection!
Uh-oh. What is the meaning of this? An Albastian knife here! You mean... How did this find its way to the Republic of Babal? It didn't just find its way over. Rather, we should focus on how it was smuggled over.
You know what? My brain hurts thinking about it just while we were just standing around. Thinking while you're on the run, now that's the way a real great thief operates.
Okay.
Oh, thanks Mr. Edgeworth for proving me innocent, I mean. You believed in me the whole time, right? Tell me you did.
Not really, but...
Come on, you don't have to be shy about it.
Yeah, no, Sheena will not let this go.
Your argument is still not airtight.
Would you care to elaborate?
I understand now. The girl didn't commit the murder. However, there's still a possibility that she is the Yatagarasu.
That again? Look, how many times do I have to explain it to you? I am the real Yatagarasu. I'm not like that fake one that goes around setting fires, okay?
Whether you're the real deal or a fake, it doesn't really matter. All I have to say is this. I have my suspicions that this girl is the one who started the fire.
Objection!
Preposterous. On what grounds do you suspect her of such a thing?
The fact that she calls herself the Yatagarasu. That in itself is the most elegant proof.
Miss Sheena,
Yes?
I have no intention of taking back any of what I've said. I am the great thief Yatagarasu, and I refuse to allow such an impostor to claim that name as their own. The path of justice that my father pointed me towards. I will walk it the best I can.
It's not good to be so stubborn. I hope you can understand that.
Thanks a lot for the concern, Miss Sheena. Let me share something with you, too, as a token of my appreciation. The sunglasses totally did nothing for you, so I'll steal it from you next time, okay? Well, I guess we better get going.
Going to where?
To the Kingdom of Albast. If we don't go, we won't know for sure, right?
I suppose not. We won't get anywhere simply by standing here thinking. To see where the Albastian knife came from, we'll have to pay the Albastian embassy a visit. Let's go, Miles Edgeworth. As you are my subordinate, I will not tolerate you bringing the investigation to a halt. Understood. Okay.
We continued? Yes. I think we're gonna call it quits for today. Heck yes! We did well.
These cases have such long openings. Shilong Lang pushes back. Uh-oh. Well, we're gonna see the man next stream. What is the graph? Oh! Winged! Thank you for 100 bits! Oh my god! What is the graph of the price development of pie called in the Bahamas? The Pirates of the Caribbean. Oh my god. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming by and giving me the pirate jokes. They were fun. So yeah, we'll continue this next Sunday. Because Sunday... Is Sunday gonna be the finale? I don't know. I don't know how long the rest of the case is. Sunday, fun day indeed. We'll see how the ending will be at the end. So, yeah. I think that's gonna be it for today. So, yeah. Thank you very much for watching, everyone. And I will see you on next Sunday. Bye-bye.